And now, 89X presents Lincoln College Basketball on 88.9 FM and streaming live from the iHeartRadio app.
And welcome to the Jack D. Nutt Arena, where your Lincoln College Lady Lynx fell in the home game number 1, should I say, here 57-54 to Judson University. Boy, was it a good one in that one. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring you the broadcast because we had some technical difficulties that were just out of our control here in that one. It was really kind of the computer dictating whether we went on the air or not, and the computer won. However, though, we kind of outsmarted the computer, per se, in this one by switching over to the radio. And again, Adam Hoffman, Nick Jackson with you as usual. Nothing's changed there, but again, just on the radio side of things. Adam, tell us a little bit about this game we got going on here in game number 2. Olivet Nazarene, the Tigers, they come in, and we've played them in golf. We've seen them a few times. Actually had a fairly nice golf course. But back to basketball, what are you looking for out of tonight's game with the Lynx kind of coming off a pretty decent win?
Yeah, and along with Olivet, they're coming off a pretty decent win, too. They won 82-58 in their last game, with their largest lead being 28 points in that ball game. Nick Reed stole the show. He had 37 in that last game. He's averaging 28 points on the season, so they're a really good shooting team from the outside, and I think they're really going to put us to work, really, just because of how good a shooting team they are, and hopefully our defense can really block down.
And like you said, Nick Reed really kind of coming in, kind of stepping up for this Olivet Nazarene team. Like Adam just said, 37 points in the game the other night. He's actually 5th in the nation right now in that category. Also just needs 18 points to kind of overcome his, what would you call it, nemesis, a teammate nemesis of his for being 13th all-time on their scoring list for Olivet Nazarene. But again, Olivet comes in 2-1 on the season, along with your Lynx as well. They come in at 2-1. We're going to talk about the game just a few moments here. Their last win, we traveled down to Lindenwood, Belleville, just a few days ago this past Saturday. They came up with a pretty good win. 77-68 was the final, and it kind of looked like the first half was all Lincoln. They were rolling. But the second half, not so much. Lindenwood started hitting some threes. Adam, what did you see in that second half that kind of that Lindenwood had Lincoln on the ropes a little bit?
Well, really, all Lindenwood did was they just started making shots. They were 1 for 8 from the three-point line in the first half, turned that into 11 for 21 in the second half. Lincoln gave up 47 points in the second half. That can't happen. It's a good thing that we were leading so much at half, or else that wouldn't have been that. It probably would have been just a completely different game, just because of how balanced the scoring attack could have been. We scored about 38 points the first half, 38 in the second half, maybe 39. So it kind of balanced it all out for us, but we can't give up that many points, especially on the road.
No, you're exactly right there. Still found a way to come up with the W, but like you said, cannot do that in the second half, especially. What did you say? Lindenwood shot, 50% from behind the arc or better?
I think they were about 50% in the second half. So, this is something we can't do, especially on the road, just because it's so hard to win, especially in NAIA now.
Oh, you're exactly right. We're about a minute and a half away here. Again, the Lady Lynx fell to Judson University 57-54 in game number 1 here in this one. Again, from the last game as well, Trayvon Tyler led the way with 16 points, but it was an unlikeful 16 points for Trayvon Tyler. Not the usual Trayvon Tyler we're used to seeing. Only went 2 of 10 from the field, 0 for 4 from behind the three-point line. He had 12 of 13 free throws in that ball game. So unlike Trayvon Tyler to only have 4 points besides free throws in a ball game. So look for him to kind of bounce back here in this one. But another one, Montez Crumble, as you are very highly on, he had 13, which was second right behind Trayvon Tyler. But his shooting night, though, however, 2 for 3 from behind the arc. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, definitely, especially from a backcourt mate like that. And Julian Powell just right behind him with 12 points. So it really was. I think Latham also had 12 points in that game, too. So it was just a balanced scoring attack, really, for Lincoln. It's really worked out for us, and we came away with the win.
I don't think we're going to do the national anthem. I don't believe. We did it in game number 1. See if they do it here in game number 2. That's kind of what we're waiting on. Also to add to the mix for scoring as well, J.J. Turner came in with 11, along with Julian Powell. He had 12 as well. So the Lynx kind of have some balance coming off the bench as well, so look for them to kind of have a big game here tonight. Even though and one thing I'd love to add is about this Lynx bench. I know I don't want to say that, like, they're the secondary players, but they had 21 points coming off the bench the other night, and that's what you want to see, a real balanced scoring attack here for Coach Lepp's team.
Definitely, and in Olivet's last game, they had 19 points coming off the bench, so it really should be a great game all around. It really should be both teams really just scoring on starting end and coming off the bench as well.
And we are not going to do the national anthem, so why not hit the starters right here in this one. First, for the visiting Olivet Tigers.
Yeah, for Olivet, they have number 4, Dane Shapley, number 23, Luke Tuttle, number 25, John Contant, number 45, Alex Gross, and number 32, Nick Reed, who's been just on a tear lately. Like I said, averaging 28 points per game so far this season with his high at 37. And actually, I read otherwise, he scored 51 last year at home. He broke the Olivet Nazarene single game scoring record.
And very well could possibly do it again today. The Lynx going to have to play some good defense on him to kind of keep him under control. But let's meet the starters here for your Lincoln College Lynx in this one. Again, not much has changed here in this one, but Trayvon Tyler running the points. As usual, he'll wear number 2 here in this one, as he'll be announced first as well. Followed by Montez Crumble, that dynamic backcourt for Coach Lepp and this Lynx squad still back out there on the court here today. Followed by number 12, the newcomer, the transfer, Darnell Latham Jr., as we were saying. And again, we did not have Latham on there, but he is a junior, so don't want to make his mom even more upset with us than anyway. So we're going to say junior here today, as he's not playing like a junior, he's playing like a senior here tonight.
Yeah, he's really been just a big part of our offense. He's a excellent outside shooter and probably the best free throw shooter on the team.
Following that up, you have the 2 big mans down low. Hopefully they can stay out of some foul trouble here tonight, as Julian Powell and Tyrone Wright both down at the 4 and 5 in this ball game for Coach Lepp. Again, I picked Tyrone Wright to have a monster game here today. Actually, funny thing, after we got done doing that Facebook Live where we both had our picks, I then believe you took Julian Powell and I took Tyrone Wright. Tyrone Wright was actually walking in, and I said, hey, man, you were my pick on the Facebook Live here today, so please come through for me, man. So he knows there's a little bit of an extra pressure on Tyrone since he knows I picked him here tonight.
You shouldn't have done that. It's just going to make him even more under pressure. There's higher stakes to the game right now for him. He should just be focused on winning. I mean, what are you doing, Nick?
I don't know, man. Maybe it was because he wears the best number of them all in 25. I had to give him a little shout-out because of that. But again, here we go, getting ready for tip-off. As Olivet, they're going to be in the road purples here in this one. Followed by your Lincoln Lynx, they're going to be in the home grays. At least both teams are not wearing gray here tonight.
Yeah. What, was that a girls' game?
That was a girls' game.
Happening. Yeah, both teams were wearing gray.
Kind of threw us off on the the rosters and stuff, but we're getting set to go, as Powell will win the tip and the Lynx will have the first possession of the ball game here in this one. Tyler hands it off to Crumble. Crumble at the top of the key. Guarded very closely. Swinging it to the right side now for Latham. Latham trying to feed Powell down low. Can't corral it. Gets it right back. A little jumper. No good. And it's going to be off the hands of Olivet. And it's going to stay with the Lynx here underneath their own basket.
And Alex Gross down low. He's going to match up pretty well with Julian Powell. I think Gross was listed at 6'9", which is probably just pretty average from what Julian Powell has been coming from, especially from a D1 school.
Tyler now with it, trying to feed the big man. Instead, drives into the lane. Now kicks it out to right in the corner for 3. No good, off the back of the rim and out. But they're going to say it was last touched by the Tigers again. So it's going to stay with the Lynx with a fresh 30.
And we really just need to focus on getting a good shot here. You always want to try to get either an open 3 or just a layup to start out the game just to get you on the right track. So look for maybe Latham to come off the screen here and get a 3.
Tyler now with it, picks up his dribble at the top of the key, over to Crumble on the left wing for 3 from downtown, and Montez Crumble once again really been working on his shot. You saw it right there, 3-0, Lynx on top.
It really just was a great swing pass from Trayvon Tyler. He thought about shooting the ball, just decided to make one extra pass for a wide open Crumble 3.
Now Olivet finally having their first possession of the ball game. We're back on the other end. Now here in this one, Tuttle with it, kicks it out to number 25, Content, and he can't hit the long 3. Rebounded by Powell, and here come the Lynx yet again. Tyler to Latham. Latham off the dribble, takes one step inside the three-point line, and buries it home. So 5-0 Lynx here early.
And Latham really has an underrated mid-range jump shot. I mean, we saw it a little bit at Lindenwood Belleville. He's very capable of just taking one dribble in and just taking that mid-range shot. It's just so silky.
So we have a foul on the floor going against the Lynx here in this one. It looks like Tuttle was trying to feed the big man down low and Reed, but again, could not, drew a foul, as it is going to go against the Lynx here in this one.
Yeah, that foul went on Tyron Wright. I think it was really for holding on Gross. So, like, feeding Gross right here, jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Latham.
And if you're the Lynx, you want to give that up all day long as Latham comes down with the rebound, trying to go coast to coast, about slipped right there. Somehow kept his footwork and the dribble all in one motion. As Crumble now gets a screen from right, goes to the right side of it, trying to drive right side lane as there's a foul on the floor. We'll see who that one is going to go against. Reed was guarding Crumble, so we'll see if it goes on him. They're actually going to give it to Luke Tuttle here in this one. So his first, team's first, 5-0 lead for the Lynx.
I think they gave it on a hold off the screen that Tyron Wright hit, so I'm not really sure what the call was, but they're going to throw a deep heave back to Montez Crumble.
And when in doubt, just throw it into the backcourt and let one of Crumble or Tyler go get it. As Wright now with it at the top of the key finds Tyler, and Tyler's going to be called for a carry here in this one. And usually we see that only go against him, but Adam, you saw it from way up here.
Yeah, he just kind of got the ball kind of stuck on his jersey. It seemed like there. Just once it got up on his stomach, he really just couldn't do anything. He just kind of dropped the ball, just tried to play it off, but they're going to call that for him.
So Schauffele now will bring it up the floor here for the Tigers as they feed it down low to Gross. Gross back to Schauffele. He throws up a shot. Can't get it to go. Tyrone Wright pulls down a big board here for the Lynx, and we're going the other way. Tyler trying to push the pace here early as Tyler kind of crossed up Schauffele, takes a step back and buries it home right there. Not the greatest crossover you've seen, but the crowd really enjoyed it.
It wasn't the best shot either. It was very off balance, but he just thought he needed to shoot that one after the big crossover.
7-0 Lynx here. 17.5 minutes to play in the first half as they find, looks like Reed. Reed saves it from going out of bounds. Now finds Tuttle, takes one step in off the three-point line at the top of the key. Can't get it. Schauffele with an offensive rebound, and he'll put it back up and in off the glass. So the Tigers are on the board here for Olivet as they trail by 5 to your Lincoln Lynx.
I'm really liking how they're not giving up the three-pointer here early. I mean, we're really guarding the outside three-point arc, and you're kind of forcing them to force the ball inside and try to get a bucket that way.
Crumble now with it on the left wing with 15 on the shot clock. Picks up his dribble, feeds right down low, a little spin move, trying to go right at Grossman. He cannot. Powell is right there for an offensive rebound. He is blocked, but he's going to get the benefit of the doubt there as there's foul going against Olivet. I believe that's going to go on Alex Gross. Here in this one, it will. That's his first, team second, as Powell's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, I think he got all ball up top, but I think the contact down low when he was coming up for the rebound, even though they're going to say he's in the act of shooting as he misses his first one, but it really is kind of a questionable call here early, and if you're Olivet, you don't really want to see that called this early in the game.
And Vaughn will check in for Olivet. He'll come in to get Gross. As, again, Powell at the line, missed his first, looking for another one right here. And the Lynx, they've had their moments at the free throw line at times. We've seen them go really good, and then there's been a few times where they can't buy one, just like Julian Powell couldn't buy one right there. 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
68% from the free throw line last game in Lindenwood. So really just something we can't have as a team.
And now Olivet coming back the other way, and it looks like we're going to have a foul going against Olivet, an offensive foul. Looks like, I believe, number 15, or they said 15. Maybe it was John Content, as he's the only one with a 5 in the ball game. So it is going to go on Content, his first, team's third, and usually kind of waiting for a sub here, but I believe Turner could not come in due to the undershirt, so he's going to have to stay out for one more play.
That's such a weird thing. You can't wear another color under your jersey. You have to match your jersey with your undershirt.
It's an interesting rule, but it is rules are rules, so Lynx are going to follow them as Crumble now with it in the left wing finds Powell underneath. Nobody was there, but had it poked away by Gross as we're going the other way. Schauffele trying to go coast to coast now as he puts one up off the glass, and they're going to say it was an offensive foul. A charge going against Schauffele as Crumble was there for the defense, and we're going the other way.
He just kind of extended his arm like that, so obviously they got to call a foul just because, just with that motion, he got himself a wide open layup, so I don't see how it's not a charge.
Good call in the hands of, or I should say in the eyes of Adam Hoffman up here as Turner checked in for Wright. for the Lynx as Latham trying to find Turner down low, tried to force one, couldn't get it to go, and it's stolen away. Olivet coming back the other way as Chaffley trying to find content right near the Lynx bench, and he throws it out of bounds. Didn't know if maybe the undershirt kind of threw him off a little bit, but it must have. It's going back the other way, 7-2. Here is our score. With just under 16 minutes left to play, we have a media timeout, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, your Lynx will have the basketball. They lead it 7-2 over Olivet.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
We're back here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. Your Lynx lead 7-2 over Olivet Nazarene. The Tigers here in this one. Adam, through the first 4 minutes, the Lynx looking pretty good. I know you took some notes up here. What are you seeing so far from the Lynx?
I mean, we haven't let Nick Reed really touch the ball yet, which is a good sign for us just because, I mean, he's really their only big scorer. No one else on their team can really take over a game like he can. So that's really just what we needed to focus on, and just don't let him touch the ball. Don't let him shoot the ball, especially from the outside.
And you also mentioned something about the three-point line. You saw that the Lynx are not giving up the three ball as easily as they did in the second half against Lindenwood. Or is that something that you look to improve on here?
I think Coach Lev we probably watched the film after that game. That's probably something he definitely saw in it. Just we're giving up way too many wide-open threes. We just need to lock up on the defensive end and just force them inside. Just try to make them beat us that way.
As Tyler finds Latham in the corner for three. He missed it, but it's going to be an offensive foul going against J.J. Turner down low away from the basketball as he was trying to get position inside for the rebound.
They said he really wrapped the defender there, so he put his arm pretty much around one of the Olivet defenders when he's trying to box out, and that's a no-no in the eyes of the official.
So Chaffley now will bring it back up the floor here. I do like the no-no, man. I like that. Getting creative with it. As Chaffley now with it to the top of the key now for Vaughn. Vaughn picks up his dribble. He's guarded by Powell. As now they find Reed. Reed is definitely guarded by Turner, one of the Lynx best defenders. So he throws it into the corner for Tuttle. Tuttle gives it right back. Now into the hands of Reed at the top of the key. He's going to have to throw up a prayer with 2 seconds on the shot clock. He can't hit. Tyler comes down with the rebound, even though it didn't even hit the rim, I should say. Tyler trying to go coast to coast. He has it poked out of bounds as he's full speed ahead, so it'll stay with the Lynx underneath their own basket.
Really was just like an uncontrollable Trayvon Tyler right there. He kind of just lost the ball, just tried to keep dribbling. I think he went off his foot maybe, and then it went off a Reed and eventually out of bounds. We're kind of lucky there that it was out of bounds off Olivet.
As Tyler finds Powell underneath the basket, a little turnaround right-hander, can't go. For Powell underneath, 7-2 as we're under 15 minutes to play now here in the first half. Tuttle hands it to Vaughn, now back to Chaffley. Over to Constant in the corner. He tries baseline, can't have anything. Now the ball's poked away as they're trying to find Constant underneath. They cannot. Crumble ends up with the basketball, and here come the Lynx going the other way. Crumble now trying to go coast to coast, trying to blow right past his defender Constant. He can't get it to go. As now here comes the Tigers the other way with the rebound. A 1-on-2 fast break, a little up and under move. No good by Tuttle. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Reed, and he can't finish, but is fouled hard underneath the basket, so he'll go to the line now for 2 shots.
And Montez Crumble just a little shaken up after that last play. He took a tumble after that shot. It looked like he kind of got stepped on, maybe in the face, so look for him probably to come out of this ball game. I think L.A. Bogan's going to come in for him.
He's going to come in for somebody.
Yeah, he's going to come in for someone, but Reed at the line for 2 shots. First one is good.
Here comes the hometown hero. First we've seen of him pretty much in this ball game as Isaiah Bowers now will check in. Didn't get to play it all over at Lindenwood. We were kind of shocked about that. But again, getting some minutes here early in this ball game against Olivet.
And we didn't see him in the William Penn game as well, so it's good to see him back on the floor. As L.A. Bogan also checked in for Julian Powell as Reed hits that second free throw.
It looks like the Lynx are going to go a little small here with J.J. Turner and Bogan running the 4 and 5 as they find Bogan in the left corner for 3. Now to Bowers. Bowers over to Tyler on the right wing. A little 2-3 zone here by Olivet as Bowers is going to pull up from way downtown. No good. He had a wide open shot. Took it. Didn't make it, though. As Schauffele gets the rebound. Here come the Tigers the other way. Content now with it over to Reed. Reed from the top of the key for 3. No. Bogan comes flying in with the rebound, and the Lynx coming back the other way. Tyler now guarded by Schauffele. He's trying to drive in right side on the lane, and he's going to be fouled hard. The shot no good, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
Really just good aggression there from Trayvon Tyler. Usually we see our guys kind of drive in the lane with no control at all. They're just expecting the foul, which is good. You want to expect the foul every time, but Trayvon Tyler, calm, collected, goes in strong and gets the foul.
And really that's Trayvon Tyler for you here in this one. Does make his first, so 8-4 as Gross looks like he's going to check back into the ball game. Vaughn comes out as well. Also number 12, C.J. Smith will check in for Olivet. But again, Trayvon Tyler, I mean, he's been the star ever since he got here for Coach Lepp. And, you know, here as Powell's going to check in as well. Tyler hits I was about to say hit a pair. That's broadcaster's curse right there. 8-4 is still our score, but Tyler really is the man on the floor.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's the vocals on the floor, the captain. So he's got to be the vocal one on the defensive end, which I think that helps us so much on the defensive end. As Bowers
picked up his dribble, but Bowers steals it away, trying to go coast to coast. Good Euro step there from Bowers. Could not finish, but J.J. Turner is there for the putback. And now Coach Lepp wants to call a timeout to talk things over. I think it's a good idea. Let's go to Bowers for a second. He's had 2 touches since he's been in. Took a long 3 from like Steph Curry range type 3. Almost made it. I have no question about he can make that. So yeah. I like that shot from him. And I even like the Euro step down low, just couldn't get the fall. What are you seeing there from Isaiah Bowers?
And on the defensive end, he forces a steal. I mean, we saw him in that St. Xavier game come in. He gets like 3 steals in a row, just back-to-back possessions. So it's just, he's such a valuable asset on the defensive end. I'm not sure why he's not getting those minutes that he needs, but on the defensive end, I mean, he might appear kind of slow and he can't jump at all, but I mean, he's got active hands.
He definitely does. He's been a threat on the defensive end, like you said, 3 or 4 steals already, and he's only played probably about 5 minutes total all season. So it's something's clicking there for Coach Lepp. He sees something in Bowers. Again, now Olivet coming back the other way. Smith with it, back to Content to Smith from a long range 3 at the top of the key, and he'll bury one home into the face of Bowers. Tyler trying to go quickly. Out to Bogan. Bogan on the right corner to Turner. Turner at the top of the key. Had a 3. Instead takes 1 step in just before the free throw line and buries home a jumper. He said, if you're going to give me that space, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, he's not the best 3-point shooter, but, I mean, he's confident with that mid-range jumper, so just a shot fake and go right in.
As Content now trying to drive in left side lane. He's going to be fouled hard, though. Underneath, they are going to say it was not in the act of shooting, so it is going to be on the baseline. As Tyler's going to pick up his first foul, team's 4th. Here comes DeAndre Freeman into the game for Tyler. Another one that you can sub out for Tyler and give him some rest, that you know is very capable of playing some good minutes here for the Lynx.
Yeah, Freeman's really he's been one of those surprises of this season. You didn't think that Trayvon Tyler was ever going to come out of the ball game, but he's really been the perfect sub for Trayvon Tyler. Nothing is lost on the defensive end or the offensive end when DeAndre Freeman's in the game.
And Content now took another long 3, and it kind of seems like we're playing the same team in Lindenwood. Live and die by that 3-point shot so far. Not trying to look for Nick Reed at the moment, and they're kind of letting some of the others shoot, and I think if you're Coach Lepp, that's what you want to see.
I mean, he's really been posting up so much. I did not expect that at all. I mean, especially scoring 37 points a game, and he's only about 6'4", 6'5", so I'm surprised that he's such a post-up player.
Bowers catch and shoot from the top of the key off of a screen. Can't get it to go, just off the front of the rim and out. Here comes Olivet back the other way. Reed with it, has it poked away by Turner as he gets it right back, though, however. As Smith feeds Gross down low, he's double-teamed by Turner and Powell as it's swatted away somehow into the hands of Nick Reed. Over to Constant. Now looks like Smith for long range. No. Bogan pulls down a rebound. Poked away. Smith comes up with the rebound for Olivet. Content now with it. Picks it up, but he's going to take one too many steps there as the Lynx looked rattled on the defensive end. Got bailed out with a traveling call right there.
It really was, like you said, because if he wasn't called for a travel right there, that would have been an easy bucket either for Reed or for content. So it really just, like you said, bailed out because we should have came up with that defensive rebound. Never should have allowed them to have that second possession.
And so it looks like now Vaughn will come back into the ball game as Smith and Griggs both check out for Olivet. Freeman running the point here, finds Wright to the left wing now in Bogan. Bogan trying to drive into the lane. No look pass to the corner for Freeman. Now to Bowers on the right wing. Bowers at the top of the key now trying to drive left side lane. Bounce passes one to Bogan. Bogan drives in, and he's going to be called for a travel there. It's kind of almost like a nonchalant type of pass there from Bowers. He was trying to bounce pass it, but not enough on it.
He tried to bounce pass it, but I mean, Bogan ran right into it. Like, it just kind of hit him in the knee, and he just tried to recover the dribble, but held it in the process, so he's going to get called for a travel every time there.
Reed now with it. This time Wright is on him. Gross with it now at the top of the key. The big man for Olivet as he hands it off now to Content. Content now trying to work it around to Tuttle. Tuttle back in the ballgame as we have a foul on the floor going against the Lynx. I believe it's going to go on Tyrone Wright. It will. So that'll be his second, team's fifth, as here comes L.J. Johnson into the ballgame to get Bowers along with J.J. Turner. He'll check in as well for Tyrone Wright.
I mean, Tyrone Wright this is really 3 games in a row here where he's picked up 2 fouls very early in the game. I mean, it's 10 minutes, or 11 minutes, I should say, in this first half. We need him on the floor as Powell.
Olivet throws it in. There was nobody underneath the basket. And I know you want to say it, so I'm going to let you say it, but Powell comes in flying, and what'd you see?
Powell just comes in on the help side defense. They got Bogan in the air, and then Powell's right there for the swat out of bounds. So Olivet will have it again. Gross down low. Looked like he traveled to me.
As they double team him, but they kick it back out to Luke Tuttle, who buries home a 3. That's what happens when you're going to triple team the man down low, and then somebody's got to be open, and Tuttle made the shot.
I really don't know why we're double teaming him. He hasn't done much. He hasn't scored in the post, so not sure why.
Bogan now with it. Finds Turner on the right side baseline. Kicks it back out to Freeman at the top of the key. No look pass to Turner, and Turner down low will finish as Freeman a no look pass. You got to love the Freeman, what he's doing on the point.
Yeah, especially just because we don't have Trayvon Tyler in. He's the playmaker on the floor, and he's showing it right there with the sweet pass there to Turner.
Reed now with it for the Tigers as Vaughn feeds Gross down low, double teamed, give and go with Reed, and he'll bury one home just inside, and now lost the handle by the Lynx off the inbounds, rolls out of bounds, and that's going to give the ball right back to the Tigers underneath their own basket.
Yeah, J.J. Turner was trying to just throw a quick inbounds pass, and it ended up going off of Freeman's foot because Freeman wasn't paying attention, so it's kind of a very silly turnover there for the Lynx.
And Freeman going to guard the inbounds pass right here. Tigers with the basketball. 10 minutes left to play here in the first half. 14-12 is our scores. They threw a lob to Vaughn, trying to catch and just shoot, and he's going to be fouled on the play by, I believe, it's going to go on L.J. Johnson, so that he'll pick up his first. And what was kind of the first 10 minutes was all fouls by the Tigers, and now in the last 5 minutes it's been all fouls by the Lynx.
Yeah, they're starting to catch up on the calls. Really, they're not trying to make it one-sided. The first free throw is good there from Vaughn. It's really just kind of a simple inbounds pass, just a lob, very steady in there, and just he was right there. He's in perfect position, just trying to finish the layup.
14-13 is our score. Again, Vaughn, one more free throw, buries home a couple, so that's going to tie us up here at 14 apiece, as Gross kind of had some kind of contact down low. He fell to the floor. He had to get up rather quickly, as otherwise Powell would have been down low wide open, as Tyler now finds L.J. Johnson from long range. No good on the left wing. Ball's loose into the hands of Nick Reed for Olivet, and they're coming back the other way as this ball game is tied. Now that one's tipped somehow into the hands of Vaughn. Vaughn can't finish underneath. The ball's loose still. Nick Reed comes up with the rebound. Turnaround right hook. No good. Off the back of the rim and out. Turner now with it. Trying to outlet pass to Tyler. Tyler with the one-on-one fast break. He can't finish either, but they're going to draw a foul going against, I believe it's going to go against Alex Gross here in this one. He's kind of arguing the call there. Nick Reed also had a few words with the officials, but when it's all said and done, Tyler's going to the line for 2.
And Coach Ralph Hodges is on the floor. He was pretty much at the three-point line and just trying to argue with that call. He's saying that Gross was straight up, but he came down with the arms, and that's going to be a foul every time. I don't really know how you argue it.
And Gross will pick up his second foul and trying to defend his players here. Tyler does hit the first, though, as the Lynx retake the lead, 15-14. Looks like they're going to go small as well. Crumble's going to check in to get Freeman for the Lynx. I believe it was C.J. Smith who checked in for Olivet. He came in to get Gross. So on the floor right now for the Lynx, Turner, I believe Powell, Tyler, Johnson, and Crumble on the floor as Tyler's second one rattles in and out. Turner might have got held, otherwise he would have got an offensive rebound there. But, however, Olivet's coming back the other way. Lynx lead by 1. Smith hands it off to Constant. A little backdoor pass to Tuttle. Tuttle with a reverse layup high off the glass. Can't get it to go as Johnson and Tyler were both fighting for their own rebound right there. Johnson does win the battle as he's now trying to go coast to coast. Drives in left side lane, puts it off the glass, and with a great touch gets it to go as it's now Lynx by 3 with under 9 minutes to play.
I mean, we saw that similar play just in that William Penn game alone. Just L.J. Johnson, he can get his shot off pretty much anywhere as ONU misses a three-pointer rebound there for Tuttle. But like I was saying, just his shot just can get off anywhere. Just how small he is, just it's so surprising how well he can get off a shot.
Nick Reed with a spin move underneath the basket. He gets one to go. That's not what the Lynx want right there is for him to get hot in this one. It's 17-16. Tyler catch and shoot this time. Little hesitation. Not going to matter for number 2 as he buries home a 3.
And for Olivet, I mean, that's the last person you want to get hot, too. So that's a deep 3 for Trayvon Tyler. That should get him going.
The Lynx playing some good defense here. Vaughn with it now at the top of the key. He's guarded by Powell. You know they're looking for number 32 and Nick Reed as Turner has him locked down and looks like Content. He's going to drive into the lane, put up a floater, and he's going to be fouled in the arm in the act of shooting as well. So he will go to the line. But again, J.J. Turner down low, not letting Reed really have any say in this basketball game.
And we really should have a bigger lead because I didn't expect Olivet to have this many scorers just coming off the ball. We're shutting Reed down pretty well. I mean, he's only scored, I think, maybe 5 points or so. I think he had 2 free throws and a three-pointer. So, I mean, we're doing a good job on him. We just need to focus and just not giving up the three-pointer on the other end.
And Gavin Griggs will check back in. He'll get Luke Tuttle along with Latham. Jr. will check in as well for the Lynx. He'll get Turner. And 20-17 is our score. Olivet trailing by 3. 8:15 left to go. Here, I guess 18 more minutes on the clock would not be fun for either team. But he does make a pair, so it's now back to a 2-point lead for the Lynx here in this one. Tyler's going to run the point. Tyler, Latham Jr., Crumble, Powell, and L.J. Johnson on the floor here for your Lincoln Lynx. As we got a little zone action going down there. As Crumble feeds Powell down low. Wanted to slam it home. Kind of mistimed his jump, but still ends up getting the easy 2.
I think he jumped and he realized how far he was from the basket, so he just decided to do a nice little layup there as Crumble gets a deflection and it goes out of bounds for the Lynx. Just like I said before, just how important just the little deflections are on the defensive end, just letting the offense know that, I mean, we have active hands in the lane and we're going to tip them out of bounds or we're just going to tip them and go the other way. So it just really thrives our defense when we get so many deflection.
In 22-18 as we're under 8 minutes left to play. We have a media timeout. Timeout on the floor. 22-18. Your Lynx lead the way over Olivet Nazarene. Don't go anywhere. More Lincoln College basketball coming your way next as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
What about blankets?
We have no towel.
Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
Perfect. We all know where we're meeting if we're separated.
The library. On Jones House. The bus stop.
And I'll be waiting here wondering where you all are. Great. It sounds like we don't have a plan.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
We're back here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena where Lincoln is leading the way over Olivet Nazarene 22-18. Again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties on the LCTV feed. That's something we could not control. It was out of our hands. We're going to have to dissect it. We'll have that back ready to go. We did read some of the comments. We are truly sorry. Mrs. Reed, we love that you're listening all the way. Again, even though your son's on Olivet, we still love it. He's got a great name, though. However, as, you know, Nick and Nick, we got to love it. 22-18 is our score coming out of the media timeout. It will be the Tigers basketball as Schauffele loses control of it, as Crumble might have got a hand on it. The Lynx coming back the other way, though. Latham pulls up just inside the three-point line, and money once again.
Like I said, underrated mid-range game, and just dribble pull up right in the heart, just switch bomb. That was nice.
As they feed Reed down low, turn around, left hand somehow doesn't go. I thought it ended up going into the side of the basket, but instead it ends up hitting the net. Is it stolen away? Reed on a fast break yet again. Johnson tried to poke it away, but he's going to draw a foul. That is going to be his second, team's 8th, as Nick Reed already knew he's going to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity.
Really just a heads-up play there from Nick Reed, noticing he has, Lincoln clearly had the numbers right there, so he just wanted to draw some contact, just try to get to the free throw line, so he'll have a 1-on-1 opportunity right here.
And Nick Reed 5th in NAIA in points per game as well. Again, like we said, needed 18 points here tonight to pass Antonio Marshall for 14th all times in the scoring list for Olivet Nazarene. He's 18 points away. I believe he's probably shorter than that now after that free throw.
He might be around 10 points now. I think that might have been his 8th point. We're not sure. We'll get the halftime stats and we'll let you guys know.
Reed does have one more coming. 24-19, make it 24-20 as Reed hits a pair in this one. Freeman's going to run the point here, so it's Freeman, Crumble, Latham, Jr., I should say, Tyler, and Powell on the floor for the Lynx. As Crumble feeds Powell down low, he's working on Vaughn. Back out to Latham Jr. for 3 at the top of the key. Buried. It's like almost Latham Jr. cannot miss here tonight.
I think that's maybe his third make out of maybe 4 attempts. Trayvon Tyler, just a massive block.
As an ob to Latham Jr. Freeman trying to just get a little too greedy right there, try to take it himself, and then tried to lob it to Latham Jr. Everybody was out of sync. But let's go back to that block from Trayvon Tyler. It looked like a easy layup for Vaughn, and then all of a sudden, here comes Tyler out of nowhere.
And may I say, LeBron James-esque. That was just a nasty chase down block, just swats it off the backboard. We see Trayvon Tyler do that a couple times. We saw that in the William Penn game where he just swatted that guy out of bounds, and he's such an underrated defender. I think he does not get the due he does not get the credit he's due on the defensive end. Everyone thinks that he's just a shooter. He shoots from the outside. He can play make here and there, but his defense is really what makes his team so good.
And it makes him that much better
it makes
as
him
well.
So much better than everyone gives him credit for.
And there was a foul on the play. Freeman bringing up the ball. He drew a foul on Content as he makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. It was a 1-on-1 opportunity. Hit the first, missed the second, as Tyler once again working on Gavin Griggs. Kind of had it crossed him over, but then got a little too greedy as Gavin Griggs stole it away. Constant now down low to Reed. Reed with the up and under move, and he'll finish underneath the basket there. So 27-23, here come the Lynx.
Really just a great move there from Nick Reed, noticing that the much taller Powell's coming in on one end, so he just goes up and under with a nice little layup on the other end.
Latham Jr. now trying to drive into the left side lane. It's going to draw contact in the act of shooting. It looks like John Content down there. I believe it was on him. It will be his second, team 7th. So now the Lynx are in the bonus as Latham Jr. going to the line for 2.
Really one of the better free throw shooters on our team. It's him, Crumble, and Tyler, really the only guys that we want later in the game taking those free throws. Everyone is capable of making them, but those guys are really the guys that we can really depend on the free throw shooting. Latham makes a pair there.
Olivet coming back the other way. Joseph Gomez goes to the scorer's table to check in here on the next whistle as Content now over to Griggs. Griggs to Vaughn at the top of the key. A backdoor cut there from Content. He drives in. Can't finish, but Nick Reed is there for a tip back. And it's in, so 29-25 as we're under 6 minutes to play now before halftime.
I really never should have said anything about how quiet Nick Reed is playing as Crumble misses the three-pointer there, rebounded by Freeman out to Tyler. Surprised he didn't take that right there, but as
Tyler
soon as
with a no-look pass to Julian Powell, and he'll slam it home. But continue with what you were saying.
I was saying that we're doing a nice job on Nick Reed, but ever since I said that, he's kind of gone on a run by himself. I think he's scored about 10 straight points now.
He has. He's been really the entire offense for the Tigers here in this one. He has it yet again. He's taking a three from the top of the key. No, just short. Rebounded by Latham Jr. as he's going to bring it up the floor. Again, look for him to take a little one-pop dribble move as he drives left side lane. He lost it out of control, out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Tigers. But if you're Latham Jr. right there, you saw the lane, you had to take it, right?
Yeah, he's really just one guy. There's going to be a timeout on the floor, I think taken by ONU. But like I said, it's a wide open layup. Either you dish it off to Powell or you just take the layup, and I think he was trying to do a little bit of both right there and just lost it out of bounds.
And now if you're Coach Leb, you see this, you've been playing pretty well here in the first half. You've held Nick Reed somewhat down low, but what can you do? You know somebody else is going to be taking those shots. What can you look for coming out of this timeout to kind of stop the pace that ONU is kind of on here, because they're slowly crawling back here in the first half?
I mean, really just forcing them to take bad shots. I mean, it seems like every shot they're taking is either wide open or just very lightly contested. They're getting layups or they're getting wide open threes. So just really need to shot and just put a hand in the face. Just make sure, just try not to let them have such an open shot to where it's more likely they're going to make it than miss it.
And the Lynx have been playing pretty well on the defensive end as well, coming up with a few steals along with Bowers from Freeman, and Tyler's been in the mix as well. But ONU will have the basketball as Smith looks like he's trying to feed Tuttle down low and then finds Reed, but Reed is going to be fouled hard as soon as he made contact with the basketball. It would be good news for the Lynx, however, though they're in the bonus, so that's going to send him possibly to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, actually he's going to be sent to the line for 2 shots as that's our 10th foul. He has not missed a free throw yet, so really just someone we have to avoid fouling at all time just because deadly free throw shooter.
Something with Reed as well that I've seen is, like we talked about it earlier, we thought with 37 points he's going to be a key outside shooter, as that's the quickest way to get to 30 points. He makes his first right there, but really the presence he's played down low. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I looked at the box score from their last game. He only shot 4 3-pointers. He made 2 of them. So he's much more than just a shooter. He has a beautiful shooting stroke as he makes a second one right there, but it really just surprised me how he's playing down low. He's not that big of a guy, like height-wise or girth-wise. I mean, he's not that big, so I don't see how he can score that easily down low.
I mean, he is the big man for the Tigers here, and this one is Freeman comes off a screen from Crumble and gets a little mid-range jumper to go, so the Lynx stay on top, 33-27. We have 4.5 to play, as that one trying to feed Reed once again. It was off the hands of the Lynx, though, so it's going to be Tigers basketball underneath their own basket.
Look for a 3-pointer off this inbounds pass. I saw Coach Lepp was looking at this as they lob it into Reed. I mean, boy, was I wrong right there. I thought they're just going to run the nice little 3-point, just get an open 3-point shot on that inbounds pass, but that's the second time they ran that play, just a nice little lob to a team that really just doesn't have that much height.
And this time it worked to perfection for the Tigers, as Crumble now coming back the other way, 33-29, 13 on the shot clock. Crumble with it at the top of the key. A no-look pass to Julian Powell at the free throw line. He'll get a screen as he hands it off to Freeman. 5 seconds to go. He drives in right side lane, puts up a floater, can't get it to go off the rim. Rebounded by Griggs for the Tigers as Freeman went for the steal, couldn't get it. Here come the Tigers yet again. Content now with it in the left side corner. He's guarded by Powell. Takes a step back 3 right over the hand of Julian Powell, the big man here for the Lynx.
It really was just a good shot contest, like you said. I mean, just unlucky that it went in. It was a very good defensive play there by the Lynx. Just a better shot there from Content.
Tyler now bringing it back up the floor. 3.5 to play. He's at the top of the key. Powell on the right wing. Over to Crumble in the corner. Back to Gomez. Gomez swinging around to the left. Catch and shoot from Tyler from downtown. No good. Long rebound into the hands of Olivet. Olivet now coming back the other way. C.J. Smith going to run the point. Tyler's got him. They feed it to Griggs down low. Now to Reed, but it's going to be poked out of bounds by Julian Powell. So it'll stay right here as Bogan is going to come back into the ballgame along with Vaughn here for Olivet. He got, looks like Griggs. Bogan's going to come in and get Gomez. So Gomez plays about a couple minutes off the bench.
Really something we haven't seen from Gomez. He's a very good shooter, but we mostly see him playing in the posts, which I think we could probably play a 4-out 1-in when he's in. Just have him on the 3-point line. He's a very capable shooter, very good shooter. I don't know why he's not shooting the 3-pointer, like you said, like he's very capable of doing.
And Bogan read that pass all the way, knocked it out of bounds. So they'll stay right here with the Tigers with 16 on the shot clock. It's like we got some lights going on and off next to us here. It's kind of throwing us off. 33-32, though. Lynx lead by 1. 3 minutes left to play here in the first half. In content now with it, guarded by Tyler, over to Vaughn. Down low to Reed. Reed with a turnaround hook. Did get it to go, but before the foul, or before the shot, there's going to be a foul, however, on Powell. And it almost kind of looked right there. I know Powell's the bigger of the two, but it almost kind of looked like a mismatch that Reed's more physical down low.
Yeah, I think he's definitely more physical. He uses his strength to his advantage. He's just really good at just getting the seal on the defender to where it's like he's going to get the ball and he's going to score every time. He's sealing off the defender, just giving a nice big target to pass the ball to him as they bring in Royale Nesbitt. I'm not really sure anyone's as strong as him. It's going to be hard to move him down low, definitely.
See what Reed has in store for Nesbitt, or vice versa, what Nesbitt has in store for Reed, as he does make a pair. So the Tigers do lead by 1 for the first time here in the ball game. 34-33, under 3 minutes to play. Freeman trying to drive left side lane, throws up a shot, and he is going to be fouled though by Vaughn. Vaughn's trying to plead his case, but I think everybody tries to plead their case when there's a foul.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something we definitely saw in the last game, that girls' game. It seems like every foul that was called on either team, there was just a complaint by either the coach or the player. But the referee is always right, just because that's who's making the call. So you can't argue with it unless it's so bad to the point where it's really affecting a game.
Freeman missed his first from the line. He does have one more coming for Vaughn, though. That was his first. And team's 8th here in this one. So free throws the rest of the way for both squads now on the next foul. 2:45 left to play. We're all tied up here at 34 as Freeman did hit his second. Smith now with it over to Content. He's on the left wing, guarded very closely by Freeman. Gets a screen from Reed. He goes right around it, trying to go coast to coast, and it goes in and out as Freeman pulls down a tough rebound there, and he's going to try to go coast to coast. Now he's going to wait for his teammates. Kicks it out to Tyler in the corner for 3. No good, but there's a foul underneath, away from the basketball, and I believe it's going to go against Olivet.
Not really sure who it's on. They said it was in the act of shooting for Freeman, but he wasn't shooting the ball. He passed it out, so I'm not really sure how that's a shooting foul, but I'm not complaining. So I guess Freeman's going to be at the line for, it's because it's a 1-and-1 opportunity. My bad. But like I said, just Freeman at the line for a 1-and-1, makes that first one, and he will have another.
And that's what you want to see. I was with you there for a second. I was a little confused. But Tyler missed a wide open 3 from the corner. That's something Tyler has not been shooting the ball particularly well here as of late. So how do we get him going? Because we're going to need him down the stretch.
He really just needs to not take three-pointers right now. It's not going in, so he just needs to see the ball go through the basket. So he needs to get easy layups, maybe some mid-range jumpers, get to the free throw line, just see the ball go in the basket. That'll really just get him going.
35-34 as Freeman did make the second one. So the Lynx now lead by 1 with just over 2 minutes to play as Reed trying to drive baseline on Nesbitt. The quickness kind of got to him a little bit, and also the height, because Reed about got clotheslined right there.
And that's really just smart basketball there from Nick Reed. He recognizes that he has big Roy Nesbitt on him, he's very, very large guy, so he's not going to be as quick. So he just goes right around him. He takes him outside. He realizes he's not going to be as strong as him down low, so he's not going to try to post him up. He's going to take it outside, dribble right by him, and get an open layup.
And Vaughn just checked out of the ball game, I believe, for blood on the uniform or some sort, as Gavin Griggs is going to check in at least for one shot here in this one, as the athletic trainer kind of coming over to his rescue. But Reed at the line. He does have 2 shots coming. Sinks them both. The Tigers would lead by 1. As nothing but net on the first one. What a stroke there from Nick Reed.
It really does have pretty much the perfect shooting form. Like, it's the ideal. That's what you're taught. It looks like he never let that go, and he just let that be his stroke for the rest of his life.
As we say that, we kind of jinxed him. The one time our jinxes come in to help out the Lynx here in this one. We're still tied at 35 here in this one as Reed goes 1 of 2 from the line. Latham Jr. now with it to Crumble. Crumble drives baseline, but before he did not get the dribble in time, as he's going to be called for a traveling violation.
We get called for that so often. I don't see how we're just we're that anxious to get the ball to the basket, I guess, to where we just move without dribbling. We just take a step before even dribbling the ball. So that's something really, really need to work on as a team.
And Content now with it over to looks like Smith. He can't hit the long-range three from the left wing as Bogan pulls down the rebound. Out to Tyler. Tyler now at the top of the key. He's working on Smith. He goes to the left for Freeman. Freeman now drives in right side lane. He's going to try to draw a foul. Kicks it out to Tyler, but they're going to say he was charged. It was a charge on Freeman driving into the lane.
I didn't know if anyone was set or if they're even outside the circle, so not really sure about that. It seems like ONU's kind of laughing at that one. Maybe they thought the same thing I did. So really just unfortunate for DeAndre Freeman. I think he's going to take a seat right here.
Looks like Bindum.
Yeah, it's Bindum's going to come in, who played pretty good minutes at Lindenwood Belleville. He kind of was playing that offense for defense role for Powell down the stretch of that game. So it's good to see him get some minutes early in this game.
So here, the Lynx going to go to a full court press here, and this one is Tyler About came up with a steal. Instead, runs into Gavin Griggs. Didn't look like it was intentional, but he did knock him to the floor. Tyler, with good sportsmanship, did try to help him up. As we're still tied at 35, minute 24 to go, that's going to send Griggs to the line 4-2.
It was a good play there by Tyler. Just got there just a split second too late. If it would have been there just a tad earlier, he would have got that steal, probably a layup on the other end, but he read it just a little too late. And like I said, it just ran into Griggs instead.
And Griggs knocks down his first, so since the Tigers have came back in this one, they've kind of stayed real close with the Lynx here in this one as they now retake the lead 36-35, make it 37-35 as Griggs knocks a pair right there. Tyler and Latham Jr. both running the backcourt here in this one. I'm kind of interested. This pace has kind of gone back towards the Tigers here in this one. I'd look for Bindum in a corner, maybe kind of let him get a shot up. Instead, Tyler drives right side lane and is going to draw a foul. He did have the lane. However, though, Reed was just a second late and had to foul.
Yeah, Jeff, it was basically the same play, but on the other end from Tyler, it was on the shooting foul instead. Reed just a tad late there. He could have been, if he was there a second earlier, just would have been a nice contest for a layup, but it's going to be a foul on Reed.
So Tyler at the line, cannot buy one right now, misses his first. And like I said, Tyler did have 16 points in the win over Lindenwood Belleville, but like we said, just 2 of 10 from the field. So now, unlike Trayvon Tyler here in this one, he's going to have to find it down the stretch here for this Lynx team.
He makes that second one there. Everyone goes through a slump, a shooting slump especially. So we're really hoping he can get back on the right track if they want a chance to win this game in the second half.
Going to have to see possibly somebody else step up here for the Lynx, as Tyler's done it for 3 years since he's been here. As now Tuttle takes a long three from the top of the key. No good. Long rebound into the hands of Reed. Reed double team now in the left corner. And he's now, they're going to say a foul going against Tyler, as Reed did not have the clearing there to get a pass off.
They're going to give it to Montez Crumble. I think that's his second or third. Actually, only his first, so I thought he picked one up earlier in the ball game, but I guess that last one went on Trayvon Tyler. But Montez Crumble, like I said, picks up that last foul. Him and Trayvon Tyler were doubling Reed in the corner. They just, like you said, just didn't give him enough room to really move. So they're just going to get him for a foul.
And Reed made his first. Has one more coming. And buries home another. So the lead extends to 3 for Olivet. That's their largest lead of the ball game here. I believe the Lynx have led by as most as 5 at one point. Tyler drives baseline, draws a foul, and this is how the last minute and a half is really going to be played here in this one. Tyler going to the line for 2 shots as both teams in the double bonus.
That's really just, like you said, how the last minute has gone by. It just seems like we're going in there, we're drawing fouls on the other end, they're going in inside, we're fouling them, so it's just going to be free throws back to back here.
And this might be what Tyler really needs here in this one, as he does miss the first yet again. You can tell he's frustrated, but like you said earlier, trying to just see the ball go into the basket, need to see that. And right now Tyler can't even buy one.
He can't buy a free throw or just a basket. They're going to bring in Bowers for this last possession, so hopefully Tyler can make one to check him in, as he does.
And he is going to get Tyler I believe that's a smart play there for Coach Lepp. 38 seconds left to play here in the first half. 39-37, Lynx trail by 2 as Olivet will have the basketball. Again, shot clock and game clock separated by about 7 seconds, 6-7 seconds, depending on which one it stops on first. As now Olivet coming the other way. Tuttle now over to Griggs. Griggs with a 10-foot jumper, no. Pulled down with the rebound by Bowers. Bowers bounce passes one to Latham right before midcourt. Shot clock turned off. We're under 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Lynx trail by 2. 3 would take the lead. 2 will tie. Now to 7. Latham Jr. now with the basketball. You know he's taking the shot. Takes a step back. A jumper, no good. Crumble can't pull down the rebound. Griggs comes up with it. And that's how the first half is going to end here, as Latham Jr. couldn't tie the ball game up at halftime. But that's okay. We got 20 more minutes left to play here in a great dogfight we got going on in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. 39-37, Lynx trail by halftime. Adam, walk us through that first half a little bit. It seemed like the first 10 minutes the Lynx were really kind of cruising. They had some mixed cues, but they really kind of kept it under control. The last 10 minutes, though, however, they kind of let Olivet back into the ball game a little bit. You saw Reed kind of get going. What is going to be the play here in the second half for the Lynx?
I mean, I think the big difference was we weren't making our shots. It seems like the first 5-10 minutes, I mean, Tyler made a 3. I mean, Latham made a couple mid-range jumpers into 3, and Powell down low is banging down low and just getting easy jump hooks. So it just Olivet's defense really locked in and just didn't allow us really to get some open shots, and they were just forcing us to take ill-advised shots, and they weren't falling for us.
And that's going to do it all for us here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, more Lincoln College basketball coming your way as they trail by 2 to Olivet Nazarene here at halftime, 39-37, as we're going to see more of this Lincoln College team next. So don't go anywhere as you guys are listening to Lincoln College men's basketball right here on 89X.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hello, folks. I'm Garrett Isles, and you are listening to the 89X Lincoln College Basketball Halftime Show. Our guest for today is Tony Thomas, and Tony is the baseball coach here at Lincoln College. And Tony, how long have you been here at Lincoln College?
This will be my 26th year as head coach. Of course, 25 as the NJCA, with my first year being at the junior college, but also was a 3-year assistant starting in 1990.
Nice. Do you have any other roles here at the college, or are you just...
Yeah, I do a little advising for my upperclassmen that I have left, and then a few of my incoming kids, and then I'm actually events coordinator with scheduling with the old gym and the Lincoln Center, so a few jobs added onto there.
Okay, so as you mentioned, you have been formerly with the National Junior College Program, and this is your first year in the NAI. How do you feel about the whole switch? Do you think it'll be good for the program, or?
Well, this year is going to be a learning experience with no question. So I think we've found that out through volleyball and starting with basketball and soccer's already taken place. But it's going to be a good switch. Just a little different than it was at the NJCA, especially with fall ball and things. And that traveling is going to be a little more lengthier than we've been used to. But overall, I think it's going to be a great change for our institution, and once we get the program built to the degree with upperclassmen, I think we'll figure it out and go from there.
Good. And with the switch, you guys weren't able to play any games this fall, correct?
Well, we were. I chose not to this year,
okay.
Based off of all the new eligibility rules and stuff like that. So I decided as a program that we're just going to go ahead and practice this year, and then next fall we'll rejoin the fall season and play our allotted scrimmage games. I know we can play regular season games also. Just haven't checked into it as deep as I guess I need to or should. But we'll get back to it next fall.
Do you think that time that you guys took off during the fall to practice, do you think that'll help you out with the extra time in the practice when it comes time for the spring? That fall season is very important, especially in junior college, because we were allowed to play, up to 20 fall games in the sense of dates and stuff in that nature. But I don't know. We'll see. I think it brought some of my guys that through this summer, gave them a little time to rest, and I use the word heal, but relax their arms. We haven't thrown as much as we have in the past, so hopefully going into the spring season, we'll be able to get arms in shape and won't be too tired from the summer and the fall season. Yeah. And also with the switch becoming a 4-year school, do you think down the road that will help you with guys staying and not leaving after 2 years and having to get, be maybe as young as yours, because you'll have guys that can stay all 4 years? Do you think that?
I think it'll eventually, yeah. I think that'll play a big factor with no questions. Hopefully we can, keep the juniors and seniors and continue through 4-year. We still have a few guys that, are getting their 80 degrees, and they'll make a decision after this year if they want to stay their junior year. But eventually we'll get to that program. Hopefully I'm also able to maybe bring in a JV program in a few years whenever we're capable of getting the varsity situated around and maintained.
And kind of not on the baseball side, but you mentioned that you do some of the events scheduling with the Lincoln Center. And with the new switch, is there any changes than it was with the junior college and the NI? Is there any new?
To agree, it is, because we have a men's JV program also. So our JV program has, I believe, 20 games scheduled. So the gyms will be a little more used. We have quite a few sports here that use both gyms. Plus we have intramurals. Plus we have open gyms. So we have other events that take place. The Grand Soiree. We have the Alumni Hall of Fame coming in for athletics for the Hall of Fame dinner. We have the Martin Luther King breakfast, things in that nature. So the gym is used more than just for athletics. So the facilities are very very used, and athletics has a big part of that with no questions.
Okay, and this year, just making the switch to the NI, are you guys able to do any postseason stuff if that is?
We are not, right. At this particular time, we're on probation, so we have 1-year probation as of right now, so okay. we cannot do postseason. So our regular season is, their opportunity, and, maybe, like I said, for example, the volleyball team finishes with UIS, so maybe that's their incentive to go and play a Division II school and, get an opportunity to think, hey, maybe this is a regional game, things in that nature. So we have to get our guys in practice and, game situations of, hey, we have to get better for next year for our postseason situation.
Yep, hopefully this season will be good to kind of give the guys a little fire that next year you can get out and get into the postseason. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. Tony, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Garrett.
And stay tuned for the second half of today's game coming up next. You're listening to Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it, and you can hear it repeatedly without feeling anything. But when we introduce a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural or inborn response from you. Save the food, because 40% of all food in the US never gets eaten. Save the food. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit savethefood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The Selective Service System presents ways to keep guys out of trouble in 2 minutes or less.
The pictures of your girlfriend making the just about to sneeze face you were gonna post online as a joke? Probably should delete them.
Another way to keep yourself out of trouble in 2 minutes or less.
Register with the Selective Service System. It's the law for men turning 18. Not registering could mean not getting your driver's license in most states.
Register with Selective Service at sss.gov.
But I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me. Whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Half of U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Juice, Mom! Juice, juice, juice!
Mommy, why are we going to the store?
Mom, I want juice!
Mom!
Juice, juice, juice!
Mom!
Your child will have different needs at different stages of life, and that includes the car seat. See, car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
For some people, difficult transitions like retirement, divorce, or loss of a loved one may contribute to feelings of hopelessness or even thoughts of suicide. The risk of suicide is even higher for men over 50 who've served our country. Guys like me. Support from friends and family makes such a big difference. Every day, your actions could help save a life. Learn how you can help at veteranscrisisline.net.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression. My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill, it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
All right, we are back here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena, just getting ready to set for halftime. 39-37 is your halftime score. It's kind of interesting, and we got the stats up here, but I think who's more interested in the stats is the entire Lincoln College basketball team. Justin Parker down there holding the team stats. Everybody came running. They wanted to know exactly what everybody had. Well, I'm about to tell you who the leading points scorers were for both sides. For the visiting team, the Tigers, for Olivet Nazarene, no other, as we were talking about it all game long, Nick Reed leading the way with a very, very quiet 21 points. And before Adam, you get to talk about what he did. Leading the way here for, again, your Lincoln College Lynx is actually Trayvon Tyler with 9 as well. Again, Latham not too far behind with 7. But again, let's go back to Nick Reed. Neither one of us knew he had 21 points. We knew it was up there, but we didn't know it was 21. So walk us through, how is he getting it done?
The free throw line, really. He's hit 11 free throws out of 12 attempts. That's really why Olivet is in the lead. I mean, they're 90% from the free throw line, 18 for 20, compared to our 8 for 16 from the free throw line. So that hurts if you're a Lynx fan. So we just need to keep them off the free throw line. They're not shooting the best from the field. They're shooting 29 from the field, 25% from the three-point line. So really, I'm not going to say their only source of offense is their free throw line, but that's definitely the most reliable for them.
We saw a lot of calls go both ways in that first half, though. For the Lynx, though, however, what did you see them do right there in the first half, and what do you think needs to be corrected, at least improved on here a little bit in the second?
I felt our offense at the start of the game was pretty good. I felt like we were getting some good shots, but once our bigs kind of got in some foul trouble, we kind of started shutting down a little bit and just trying to take long three-pointers, which, if you're Trayvon Tyler, Isaiah Bowers, you'll take them. Those are shots that they're very capable of making, but it's really not the shot that you need to get back in the game.
Now talk to me a little bit about Darnell Latham Jr. He did have 7. It looked like a little bit more than that. But again, that shooting stroke that he has is so pure. What can we look forward to out of him in the second half?
Hopefully he can get to the free throw line a little more. I mean, he's by far probably our most reliable free throw shooter. So I'd like to see him just kind of drive the ball in and just see if he can get some contact, maybe get an and one here or there, just to get the momentum and just the mental edge back on our side.
We'll see how Coach Leb wants to play it. 39-37 as we're getting ready to start the second half. Here in this one, the possession arrow should go to Olivet, I believe. And it will. Again, same starting 5 out there for both sides. Latham Jr., Powell, Crumble, Tyler, and Wright on the floor for the Lynx. Again, Schauffele, Gross, looks like Tuttle, Content, and Nick Reed on the floor for... Oh, you found it. Okay, good. I didn't know if I lost it or not. Again, Gross now with it. Olivet with the basketball coming out of halftime. 39-37. Content now with it at the top of the key. Swings it left now to Tuttle. Tuttle down low to Gross. Gross trying to no-look pass to Content. He takes a 3. No off the front of the rim and short. As Tyrone Wright pulls down the rebound there for the Lynx. Crumble coming back the other way. He's guarded by Schauffele, looking for Powell down low. Instead, gives it to Wright at the top of the key. Right to the wing now for Tyler on the right side. Tyler backs it up, picks up his dribble, trying to feed one down low to Powell, but it's kicked out of bounds.
We're really just kind of looking for Powell early in this second half because Gross is back in the game. He has 2 or 3 fouls, I cannot remember, but they're just trying to get him just back on the foul sheet just to get him out of the game. He's pretty much their only big man presence. So it's just good to have him out of the game. They're going to try to attack him early.
Tyler now with it, trying to drive in baseline, takes a turnaround jumper, and cannot get it to go. It bounced around up there about 3 or 4 times, but could not get the friendly roll as, again, the Tigers of ONU coming back the opposite way. Schauffele now with it to Content at the top of the key. Swings it over to Tuttle. Tuttle from the left wing, and he'll bury home a 3. It's kind of been like their go-to shot right there.
They're just going off screens, and that shot, that pass deflected there by Schauffele. He's just going to get it wide open.
As a no-look pass down low for Content, as Reed will finish underneath the basket there. And that's not what Coach Leb wanted. 39-37 to start the half. It's now a 7-point lead for the Tigers here at 44-37 as they feed Powell down low. Back out to Latham Jr. Latham is going to get a screen instead, drives baseline, takes a step back jumper, 10-footer. No, in and out for the Lynx yet again. It's almost like there's something hiding at the bottom of that basket.
It's really that's both shots that we've taken this half, just in and out, and we're kind of making some silly turnovers as well, so we just really need to get in our groove here.
Reed drives baseline, puts it up off the glass, almost got it to go. What a touch he's got from around the paint, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
And he only missed 1 free throw in that first half. He was 11 for 12, so look for him to keep that up here in the second half. He's just doing a really good job just getting to the free throw line, just playing to his strengths, and he makes that first one right there. J.J. Turner is going to check in for Tyrone Wright. He just picked up his 3rd foul.
And Wright not pleased, but again, we're going to need him along with the rest of these guys so they cannot hang their heads too much. We saw, Olivet was down 7. That was the Lynx' largest lead at one point. Able to come back and take the lead. The Lynx have to have the same mindset. As a 2 for 2 from the line goes Reed. It's now a 9-point lead, the largest for ONU. Tyler now trying to drive in quickly, kicks it out to Latham Jr. in the right side corner for 3. No. Ball's tipped into the air, into the hands of Tyler. Tyler thought about taking a 3. Instead, will kick it back out and wisely set up the offense. Turner now trying to drive in right side lane off the glass, and he'll put it in.
J.J. Turner, he's very capable of dribbling the ball. I'm not really sure why they don't use him in more pick-and-roll situations. He's a good roll man. He's also a good ball handler in that situation. You saw it right there with a nice drive there by Nick Reed.
As Reed thought about a shot, instead finds Grossman down low. He's got double teamed, and they're going to call a jump ball. It almost looked like he was going to travel there for a second as he didn't have control of it. But it is a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Lynx, so it does work out to their favor anyway. Lynx coming back down the other way, 46-39. 17 and a half minutes left to play here in the ball game. Tyler trying to get his team back in this one. Down by 46-39. Tyler now with it, gets a screen, takes a step back and thought about, now drives in left side lane, kicks it out to Crumble on the left wing. Now to Tyler in the left corner. Tyler trying to drive baseline on Schauffele, now backs him down and tried to turn around hook, but Schauffele hits it, and it's going the other way, stolen away by Schauffele. Schauffele now finds Tuttle in the corner for three, catch and shoot wide open. Another miscommunication on defense, and all of a sudden it's now a 10-point lead here for the Tigers.
We really just need to get an easy basket right here. We need to get an open look. It's that last possession there by Trayvon Tyler. We don't want to see Trayvon Tyler go back to the basket, just try to bully his way down low, as Montez Crumble provides a little spark right there, getting the layup to go, as Coach Lepp will call a timeout right there.
And Coach Lepp does call the timeout, gets it back to single digits here, as it's 49-41, 16 and a half minutes left to play in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. That's something that Coach Lepp, I believe, needed right there. And kind of ONU coming out of halftime with a good start offensively. What do the Lynx need to do on the defense? We saw a few of those threes were just miscommunication on defense.
It seems like, and we're making a lot of miscommunications on offense as well. We're just kind of throwing passes when guys aren't looking, and we're giving up wide open threes on the other end. It seems like as soon as ONU gets the ball, they just run down the floor. They run their lanes correctly. It seems like they kind of go under a screen or something and just a wide open shot, and they're going to make them more than they miss them just when they get them that wide open.
Now also Nick Reed still continuing his from the first half as well. What's one thing that you've been able to see that the Lynx have done well to kind of stop Reed here in this one?
They're not fouling him as much, so that's good. We had, I think, 15 fouls in that first half compared to the one that we have right now in 4 minutes. So it's definitely a step in the right direction, but we can't foul. We have to keep them off the free throw line. This isn't like other teams that we play where we can get away with fouling them because they're not the best free throw shooters. These guys are very good at the charity stripe, and you just can't force them there or else they're going to make you pay.
Definitely have to have a hand in their face at all times. We saw even, I believe it was Content with Julian Powell, a hand in his face, and he's the tallest player we have, and still somehow got the rainbow over him.
Still just drains the three, so that's just something that we just need to work on, just getting a hand in the face and just trying to disrupt their shots in any way.
Well, the Lynx come out in a 2-3 zone here, hopefully trying to stop the offense here for ONU as Gross out to Griggs in the corner for three. No. Instead finds Schauffele on the left wing. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Schauffele's going to have to force one. He cannot find the back of the net as Tyler pulls down the rebound. Outlet to Latham. Latham coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in for an easy two. So Latham Jr. now coming in, and it's now back to 6.
I think the zone is a good change of pace here for the Lynx. I think just confusing them on the offensive end. They're going to give up a wide open three right here. And Tuttle is going to make him pay. He's really been kind of the guy that's been throwing the daggers here as of late. I think that's maybe his second or third in this half.
And that's not something the coach Lev wanted, as Tyler trying to go right side lane. Instead kicks it out to Crumble. Crumble trying to answer for three. No, short, as Reed pulls down the rebound here for the Tigers. Schauffele now with it back to Reed. Reed on the right wing, trying to drive right side lane. Puts up one off the glass, can't get it to go, but Gross right there for the tip back.
Gross is only listed about 6'9", but just that little tip in right there made it seem like he was 7 foot tall. Just it looks so easy for him. So that's definitely a big plus for ONU to have him on the floor.
As Tyler, a good pass down low to Powell, but Powell just couldn't corral it. It almost looked like he wanted to dunk about halfway. Just was like, oh.
Yeah, he went up for the dunk, just realized he did not have the ball. J.J. Turner comes up with the steal. Here comes Trayvon Tyler the other way.
He'll hand it off to Latham Jr. from downtown. No good. And I don't believe that's what the shot was entitled for the Lynx in that possession. As now Tuttle once again faked the three this time, drives baseline, but Powell says no as he denies one and blocks it out of bounds.
And you saw after that block, Coach Lepp just turns to the bench and starts clapping. He wants the team to get into it. It seems like since we're down, it's just our bench really isn't the same. I think you could probably vouch for this too. They're usually a lot louder than this. They're usually cheering. They're cheering on the guys on the defensive end, just wanting them to play good defense. We're really just not seeing that tonight.
They threw another lob right there to Tuttle as he'll lay it up and in. But I will agree with you right there. Normally you can hear the Lynx bench through our headphones, and we're across the court as L.J. Johnson, who just checked in for Crumble, goes coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. 56-45 now, 14 and a half minutes to play as Bindum and Bogan both go to the scores table to check in along with Griggs for the Tigers. C.J. Smith now with it on the right wing, guarded very closely by Tyler. Tyler trying to step up the intensity. He has it stolen away, saves it from going out of bounds, goes coast to coast, draws the foul, count the basket and the foul. It was a ticky-tack foul, but nonetheless goes the Lynx way, and Tyler's going to the line for an and one opportunity.
And hopefully that'll get Trayvon Tyler going in this one. He had a very rough first half. He led the way for us with 9 points, but it really didn't seem, it was not the usual Trayvon Tyler half, as I would say. He kind of just seemed out of it.
And has a chance right here. Hopefully maybe that's the spark that we were looking for to get him going here in the second half. I mean, we've seen Trayvon Tyler compete just like Nick Reed can. He can put up 30 in a heartbeat like nobody's business, as Tyler cannot buy the free throw right there. Reed pulls it down, and it's going to stay 56-47. Tigers still leading the way as Content for three in the corner. He'll bury home another one. I believe that was Smith, actually. Content was the one that allowed the assist. And it's back to 59-47, 12-point lead. As Turner now from the top of the key drives in, and he's going to draw a foul on his way up. They're going to say it was on the floor, though. However, as Turner and the rest of this Lynx team very frustrated here in this one.
It really seems like our bench is just kind of defeated. It seems like, I mean, we're not being ourselves like I said earlier. But I think really what we need to do is, I'm really surprised they took out Powell and Tyrone Wright. They weren't in foul trouble at all, but they really need to feed the big man without a big man presence on the floor that Olivet has. I mean, Gross is taking his seat, so why not just feed him?
Johnson trying to drive into the lane. He had it right there, but then was met by two Tigers down low. Tried to throw it away, but the foul is going to go, it looks like, on Gavin Griggs. So he'll pick up his first, team's third here for Olivet. It was, Johnson thinks it's in the act of shooting, so he's standing at the line. I believe they are going to say it was in the act of shooting, as Reed's practicing his little one-footer down there. Unfortunately for us, he actually missed it. So
yeah, I mean, that's the only one he's missed tonight, it seems like. So L.J. Johnson will be at the line for two shots. He makes his first one. He's probably one of the other guys on our team that's like a reliable free throw shooter. He's the one that hit two clutch free throws late in that William Penn game. And unfortunately, it did not go our way, but he was the one that tied it up for us right there at the end, as he makes a pair there.
By doing that.
Yeah, he needs to he was the one that provided the spark against William Penn. I mean, he kind of came in late during that Lindenwood Belleville game and hit a couple shots. So maybe that's what they need, just for L.J. Johnson just to come in and just hit a few shots to really get us going.
Back to man, as good defense there on Reed. Turner goes straight up with it. Reed tried to force one, couldn't get it to go. Back to a 10-point lead as Johnson now trying to drive in, and he's going to be fouled as Chauflet looks to the official going, what can I possibly do to stop him?
It seems like he kind of tripped there, but he caught the body just a little before, so I think that's really what made it a foul more than anything, just the fact that he kind of nudged his body a little bit. Maybe some acting right there, but definitely a good one. It seems like we try to take a page out of ONU's book right there, running that lob. Either way, they give it into Trayvon Tyler, who has it way outside. I mean, we need to get going here. There's only 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Tyler tries to drive in, left side lane to Bogan in the corner for three. He'll bury one home, and that's really what this Lynx team needs right here to get back in this one. 59-52, we're under 13 to play.
Really, Bogan needs to be planted in the corner even more. That's really the only three-pointer that I've really seen him hit. So he needs to stay right there. He needs to stick to his zones that he's really good at.
They feed Reed down low once again. He kicks it out to Griggs. Griggs from downtown, and ONU answers on the other end for three. Back to a 10-point lead. Bogan trying to go coast to coast, has it poked away by Vaughn. Into the hands of Reed, and Reed's going to be fouled right before midcourt by J.J. Turner to stop the fast break. And I know Turner doesn't like it, but that's really the right move right there.
Yeah, really just take the fouls, just not letting them have a fast break opportunity, as Julian Powell is going to come back in the game for J.J. Turner, who just picked up that third foul. So I think with all of our guys really attacking the paint right now, I think this is the time where you have to give it to Julian Powell, just say back out, give him an isolation, just let him go to work down low. He has a very big height difference, so just use it to his advantage. He's a very capable shooter, and he just needs to use those little post hooks, maybe post fadeaways, just get him on the board.
And he's going to be working on Reed this time around as they feed Griggs down low, who's working on Tyler. He can't get it to go. The ball's tipped in the air, and it's going to be into the hands of Trayvon Tyler. 52-62 as Tyler trying to throw basically a full court lob to Powell, and it's out of bounds a little too high. And I know that's hard to come by, but it was a little too high for Julian Powell.
Yeah, it almost was at the top of the backboard. I thought Julian Powell could probably get to it, just to see how high he's been jumping lately, but he's not going to get to that one. Just kind of a silly turnover.
There's that backdoor cut there from Tuttle. Tuttle finds Content. He's in the right side corner now, poked away. It looked like it was tipped. They wanted a double dribble, couldn't get one. Now looks like Smith from the baseline, no good, air ball. Tyler comes up with it, back the other way, and no look pass to Bogan in the right side corner for three. Yes, L.A. Bogan gets this crowd back into it. 62-55, 11 and a half minutes left to play.
And L.A. Bogan, again, from the corner. Like I said, he just needs to stick there. He has such great touch, especially from the corner. That's something that if you're ONU, you cannot give up right now.
As Reed fakes the little give and go there, Powell on him as he does a reverse layup there, draws the contact, count the basket and the foul as Nick Reed will go to the line for an and one opportunity. So it looks like we got some subs. Isaiah Bowers checks back into the ball game. He'll get L.J. Johnson. Vaughn and Griggs take a seat as it looked like Smith came in, and I believe Gross as well also checked into the ball game there for ONU.
So Nick Reed at the line for an and one opportunity. Just something we haven't been able to get him off is at the free throw line. He knocks one down right there to push it back to a 10-point lead for ONU, but we can't foul him. No matter what, you can't foul him, especially in the act of shooting. That's especially what Coach Lepp is going over with L.J. Johnson over there. Followed him pretty much in the tunnel, just telling him not to foul. So here's Bowers.
Bowers over to Tyler. Tyler on the left wing. He's got Reed on him this time. Look for Tyler to go coast to coast. He drives into the lane and draws a foul hard. And I knew Tyler, you can see Tyler drove to the lane. He knew Reed was on him for that matter. He's trying to draw contact, but the help side defense ended up picking up the foul instead.
Yeah, that foul went on C.J. Smith, so we're kind of hoping it would have been one of their better players, that in Nick Reed or in Alex Gross, especially just the guys in foul trouble. You got to keep them in foul trouble and just kind of get us to the line. But Trayvon Tyler's going to go to the line anyway for two shots where he's really been struggling tonight. He hasn't been able to hit him that well.
And still another fine opportunity here for Trayvon Tyler to somehow, some way find the shot that he's been so desperately looking for, as he does sink the first one right there with some ease here in this one. Again, Bowers, Freeman, Tyler, Powell, and Bogan on the floor. So kind of an interesting group here. Lepp trying something new here, but whatever works at this point here in the next 11 minutes.
You just got to get back in this game. You got to get it closer and closer as Trayvon Tyler misses that second one as Nick Reed comes down with the rebound. But you got to get a stop right here. Just try to get a basket on the other end.
And here comes the Tigers as Reed finds Gross down low. A little reverse layup there. Couldn't get it to go. About went in. Instead, Bogan pulls down the rebound here for the Lynx. This is where the Lynx need to capitalize right here off of the miss of possession for the Tigers. Freeman now with it, trying to drive in around Nick Reed. Puts one up high off the glass, and somehow Freeman works his magic and gets it to go.
Now Freeman's coming with some pressure on the other end. He's trying to just get a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. You just got to let them know that you're there. They need to get another stop right here, and they're going to send him to the free throw line as DeAndre Freeman just fouls. It didn't really look like much contact, but just the fact that it was such an awkward shot just increased the odds even more that it's going to get called a foul.
And Freeman knew he was trying to get some sort of spark going here. He just had a great layup made, then trying to start it with some spark on the defensive end. It did kind of look like, however, though, when he did drive in, he kind of stopped. Didn't want to foul, and then they called it anyway.
Yeah, he just kind of backed off like that, but he already had the contact. So, I mean, Content just being a smart basketball player, just stayed with it, just absorbs the contact, just try to get a shot up there just to sell the fact even more that it was a shooting foul.
So 58-66 as Content has one more coming. That one rattles in and out as he makes one of two. So they'll stay right there. We're just over 10 minutes left to play. The Lynx going to have something in store here and this second really is late of this half to get something going here to pull out the W. Bogan now with it at the top of the key. Hands it back off to Tyler. Tyler, guarded closely by Reed, goes to the right side. Wing for, looks like Bowers. Bowers finds Bogan. He can't find the three. Ball's loose on the floor, and somehow, some way, Reed pulls it down.
That's got to be maybe his 10th or 11th rebound, too. It seems like he's always the one that comes up with the clutch rebound for ONU.
Schauffele now with it, guarded closely by Freeman. He's on the right wing. Bowers trying to stay with Tuttle as they feed Gross down low. Here comes the double team. Across the court pass now to Content. Now over to Schauffele. Schauffele in the corner for three. No long rebound into the hands of Tyler. Tyler on the run and gun mentality. He's got Freeman in the corner for three. He finds him. And Freeman hits a three. He'll connect. It's now back down to 5. 66-61. We got 9:15 left to play here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena.
And now we see Big Roy and J.J. Turner just...
And now we have an offensive foul going against, again, the Tigers here in this one. If that's going to go on Gross, he's got 4, and it does.
No, it's going to go on
Constant.
Yeah, Constant. There's going to be a timeout on the floor. But as I was saying, you see J.J. Turner and Royale Nesbitt just get up like that, and just like that, the bench gets back into it. We force a turnover on the other end. So it seems like something we need to stick to, just get the bench back into the game.
Now, we saw that they're coming in. We saw Freeman hit a big three. Are you looking for the three ball? You still got 9 minutes. You're down by 5. You got plenty of time. But if you were, are you taking Bogan? You taking Latham, who has shown that he's capable of hitting one? I mean, Trayvon Tyler's always in the mix in clutch opportunities. Or Freeman, you just saw him hit a big three.
And even Bowers is in the mix too. So I think right now a three is not the number one priority. You need to just get an easy basket. You know, if there's only 1 minute left, that's a different story. Then you need as many points as you can. But at this point, we just need to get easy baskets, just cut the lead, just slim the lead more and more each possession.
The Lynx will have the basketball after the offensive foul going against the Tigers. 66-61. Tyler, Bowers, Bogan, Freeman, and Powell on the floor. Some more 2-3 zone action here by the Tigers as Freeman to Bowers at the top of the key. Bowers trying to split the double team. He does out to Tyler. Tyler on the right wing, thought about a three, almost had it poked away. Instead, he moves to the corner. There's now 5 seconds on the shot clock. Freeman this time from downtown. No. Ball's loose into the hand of Nick Reed. And he was double teamed, but instead the Lynx will get back on defense.
So now we're kind of going into a man-to-man again. Bowers is on the ball. That's Schauffele with it. So Bowers hopefully can maybe get a steal right here.
And they find Vaughn at the top of the key. Out to Griggs. Griggs down low to Reed, who's working on Tyler. Turnaround move baseline. And Tyler knew to foul him on the floor before he turned to go to the baseline because that's a deadly weapon there for Nick Reed.
I think Trayvon Tyler on Nick Reed is not a good idea right here. You need to put maybe a bigger guy on him because Nick Reed is so strong he can kind of get any shot he wants down low. He just kind of bullies his way inside. They're going to run a lob right here. They play it well that time. It seems like they run it every time, so they finally figure it out right there.
Well, run it till it's stopped as Griggs from the top of the key for three, and it seems like everybody on this ONU team knows how to shoot the lights out as he buries home another one, and it seems like once the Lynx kind of catch up, they just treat it right back as Bogan trying to answer for three on the other end. No. Ball's tipped off of Vaughn. He might have stepped out on the baseline, but Powell trying to save it, being the hero that he wants to be, kind of just stepped on the baseline and it's going back the other way.
Yeah, it was good job by Powell just poking the ball loose like that to avoid the fast break, but just he unfortunately stepped on the baseline right there.
So it will be the Tigers basketball. They lead by 8, 69-61 as Vaughn puts one high off the glass. Can't get it to go. Powell very close to an over and back call there. They did not call it. Freeman pulls it down, and Freeman trying to go coast to coast, finds Powell. Powell trying to slam it home, and instead he's going to be fouled hard as it almost looked like Vaughn about got slammed in like a slam sandwich there. He's lucky that Powell didn't make it.
I've never heard slam sandwich before, but I like it. I think the word you're looking for is about put on a poster, I think.
Well,
is
I
what
like
you were
poster, but
of.
that's too common, man. I had to come up with my own.
About put him on the slam sandwich.
Yeah, you'll always remember that, though.
But no, that definitely got the crowd back into it. It made us stand up. But, I mean, Powell's going to be at the line for 2 shots, but just what if he would have made that dunk and he luckily got fouled, so it doesn't look too bad as he missed that first free throw. as Latham is going to check back into the game for Isaiah Bowers. But we just need some points right now. It does not matter how we get it. We just need points to get back in the game. Just keep cutting into that deficit.
I think everybody you can hear the kind of the small talk now going on in the crowd. I mean, everybody got talking about that one, and probably would still be talking about it had he threw it down.
Yeah, would have been huge. I mean, the one night that we're not on TV, that big play, it would have happened. That was just kind of our luck if he would have made it.
He does make 1 of 2 from the free throw line, though. 7.5 minutes to play, 69-62. Tigers with the basketball. Griggs now with it at the top of the key, finds Reed. Look for Reed to kind of drive in. Instead, he takes a long three. No good. Must have been feeling it there. Didn't get it. Tyler pulls down the rebound. Tyler over to Latham. Latham thought about a quick three. Instead, we now have an offensive foul going the other way against Julian Powell.
I mean, Latham right there, he had the shot fake, and he had lane. He had lane to really make his own shot, but he just tries to force it inside, and Powell's going to pick up his 4th foul.
Looks like now we're going to have a timeout here on the floor. A media timeout, so we're going to go to break here. Don't go anywhere. We have a good one here in the next 7 minutes. 69-62. Lynx trail to ONU Olivet Nazarene. We're going to be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. You guys are listening to Lincoln College men's basketball right here on A9X.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Jack D. Nutt Arena where your Lincoln Lynx, they trail 69-62 with 7 minutes left to play here in this one. Still anybody's game as of late, but one key factor here in this one, Adam, Julian Powell's got 4 fouls. How do you manage that if your coach left the rest of the way?
I think you sit him for just a brief period of time. I think his defense is definitely something we need in the game, but you can't risk him picking up a 5th foul. This, I'd say, early in the second half. I mean, there's only 7 minutes left, but he is going to take a seat, and Tyrone Wright is going to come in for him along with J.J. Turner. So not a bad look for the Lynx. There's still rim protection right there in Tyrone Wright and just a lockdown defender in J.J. Turner.
And Turner, is going to be on Nick Reed after we have the full court press here by the Lynx. They're just going to let now Schauffele walk this one up to midcourt. 69-62. Schauffele goes to the left wing now, and Griggs back to the top of the key, and Vaughn. Vaughn working on right to Tuttle now on the right wing. Back to the top of the key, and Griggs. Griggs thought about a three. He's made 2 of them. Instead drives left side lane. He lost control of it, but they're going to call a foul as it hit off of Griggs' head, and Griggs smiling. He already knows that there was no contact made.
I mean, there was contact, but he did not have possession of the ball. So I'm not seeing how that's a foul, especially on us. I mean, it could have gone either way, but he didn't have possession of the ball, so I'm not seeing even, why is he the free throw shooter if no one had possession of the ball? So I'm not sure about that one.
He is going to go to the line for 2 shots. They do say, I believe it was in the act of shooting.
No, we're in the bonus.
They are in the I was wondering, bonus. But the official kind of gave the little, you rock sign, so I thought it was, 2. But instead, you're correct. They do. I know, you like that? But anyway, they are in the bonus, 70-62. As Griggs does have one more coming. He does make that one as well. So back to a 9-point lead here for ONU. Tyler trying to work the ball up the floor. He does. As he gets a screen from right, goes to the right side of it. He's now at the top of the key. Working on Vaughn, drives left side lane, puts one up off the glass, and Schauffele and Vaughn both know that just give him that easy 2.
Yeah, you don't want to foul him in that situation. Just give him an and-one opportunity. So they're just going to give him that wide-open layup. So we just need to stop right here. I know I've been saying that every possession really, but it seems like we're giving them easy buckets.
Griggs back to Vaughn. Vaughn from the top of the key for 3. No. Rebounded by the Lynx here in this one. Freeman pulled it down for the Lynx. As Griggs almost looked like he shoved him in the back. No foul was called. Freeman kind of fell to the floor there. Instead, now finds Tyrone Wright. Wright trying to drive in, double team. Gets it down low to Turner. Turner up and under move. No. Tyrone Wright right there. for the putback, and he almost had an and one opportunity as he smacks the floor in frustration, but he's going to go to the line for two.
I mean, Tyron Wright really playing point guard right there. He got the ball at the top of the key to a nice spin move down low and a nice dish to J.J. Turner. Just unfortunate to not get the assist there from J.J. Turner, but he does get the offensive rebound and an attempt putback, but he does get fouled.
And once again, the struggle continues from the free throw line here for the Lynx as Wright cannot find the bottom of the net right there.
Our whole team can't find the bottom of the net from the free throw line. We'd be ahead by maybe 5 points if we hit some free throws here. So I know exactly what Coach Lepp is going to make our guys do tomorrow. That's just free throw shooting all day.
Is that before or after they run if they lose this game?
I'm not sure. Coach Lepp's style for practice is Tyron Wright's going to take a seat. Julian Powell comes back in this one, which is kind of a risky move. I'm really surprised they brought him in this early in so late of a ball game like this.
Especially for a defensive situation as well. Yeah. 71-65 as they try to feed Reed, who was wide open underneath the basket. Miscommunication. They're lucky they threw it over his head.
Yeah, that would have been a wide open layup there for Nick Reed, but his good defense by the Lynx is disrupting the pass and making them throw it over his head.
So the Lynx will regain possession here. We're now at 5:45 left to play. 71-65. Tigers of ONU leading the way. Powell now with it, guarded by Gross. Now finds Freeman at the top of the key, gets a screen as Latham Jr. now has it. Thought about a step back on Griggs. Instead, backs it up, and he'll reset with 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's now at the top of the key, drives right side lane. He's going to draw a foul, count the basket and the foul as Darnell Latham Jr. working on Gavin Griggs, and he says, oh, no, sir.
It really was just like a one-man possession right there. They gave it to Latham Jr., and he just dribbles throughout the defense, just finds a tiny opening down low and just gets the bucket to go, plus the foul.
And Griggs will now also come out of the ball game after that. I think maybe his pride was hurt there a little bit. Nonetheless, he's going to have another opportunity to make it up as, again, Latham Jr. can't hit the free throw, but Turner with an offensive rebound and putback. And now Coach Lepp runs down the floor to call a 30-second timeout. So 71-69 will stay right here. And they do say it's a full timeout now here in this one. And again, doesn't look like Mr. Hodge is too pleased with that. But again, here come the Lynx back into this one, 71-69, as we have just a 2-point game once again. Adam, down the stretch, last 5 minutes, your Coach Lepp. I mean, we already know Julian Powell don't foul. But other than that, what are the Lynx going to have to do to kind of not only come back in this ball game, but also take the lead as well?
I think they just need to get open shots. I think we need to set plenty of ball screens. I mean, take a page out of ONU's book. They're just doing fundamental plays. They're doing backdoor cuts. We've seen them do it so many times. I mean, I've heard you say it so many times, just backdoor cut. So maybe just draw the defense out, clear out the lane, backdoor cut, try to get a bucket right here. And if they do collapse on you on the back door, you should be wide open for a three.
Now on the defensive end, you know who's taking a last-second shot if you're ONU. You know it's going through the hands of Nick Reed. How do you stop Nick Reed not only on the offensive side of things from the top of the key, but how do you stop him down low? The double team is not working or it's been late. So what do you have to do and who do you put on him?
Definitely do not double him. I think that's just going to open up more and more shooters for ONU. But I think J.J. Turner, he's done a pretty good job on him so far in the game, so I think you keep him on Nick Reed. But other than that, I mean, you can't foul at all because it's going to put them at the line for 2 shots. And they're a very good free throw shooting team, so really just want to avoid fouling for this next 5 minutes.
See what happens here. The Lynx going to have some full court press as Turner with some good defense on shot play, as the big man really showing that he's kind of got some quickness to him.
He's got some quick feet and some pretty quick hands as well, so good to see J.J. Turner on the press like that.
And you can see Shopplay now with it, hands it to Reed. Reed trying to drive into the lane, but instead Turner is right there. That's exactly what you want to see out of Nick Reed. He's going to try it one more time. Turner right there, but Powell is there for the block. It's a risky play, but it comes up big for the Lynx. Tyler now with it, trying to go coast to coast, drives in left side, and he'll put it in. And here come the Lynx. We're now tied at 71 with 4:45 left to go. We got another one, barn burner here going in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. And now you can hear the defense chant from this Lynx bench.
And definitely, like you said, get the bench back into it. It's just basically like a sixth man on the floor for it. It's just for how loud they are. They give it into Reed down low. He silences the crowd right there. And he really just does a great job at sealing off the defender. Like I said earlier, just getting a wide open layup.
You got to try to like the help side defense. Latham tried to come in from the other side, couldn't get there in time as Latham, Tyler, Freeman, Turner, and Powell on the floor here. 73-71, 4 minutes left to play. This is going to be a good one coming down the stretch. Latham Jr. now over to Tyler. Tyler drives in, but he's going to be called for a traveling violation, and we've kind of seen that a few times here in this one, both particularly coming against the Lynx.
Yeah, just it seems like we're just getting a little too happy feet, really. We're stepping without dribbling the ball. And it seems like we're just kind of making a kind of a jab step before we even dribble, so it's something we really can't do. We cannot turn the ball over this late in the ballgame.
Tyrone Wright checks back into the ballgame. He'll get Julian Powell, so look for those two to have offense for defense here coming down the stretch in the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds. 73-71, Lynx trail by 2. Tuttle now with it, off the dribble, catch and shoot from downtown, and he'll hit it. So again, the long 3 ball goes to the back of the net for the Tigers, and it's now back to 5. Freeman trying to drive in, and he's going to be drawing a foul going against Tuttle. Tuttle wanted it against Freeman, but not going to get that call when Freeman's twice as undersized.
Yeah, he's very undersized, but he's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. That last shot by Tuttle, that's just one of those shots where you just, as a coach, you sit back and say, wow. I mean, you did as much as you can on the defensive end. He just hit a step-back shot where most of the time he's not going to hit that shot. It's Freeman, we missed another free throw. It's really just been the dagger so far. We definitely would have been in the lead, maybe by 10 by now if we would have hit all of our free throws. So just something we need to have late in this game is just some foul shots that go in.
And we'll see if he can't hit his second one. He does. I agree with you completely, man. It's a 4-point game. The Lynx have probably missed about 12 to 13 free throws alone as a team.
Easily.
Not shooting well from the free throw line. It could be a much different ball game had they been able to hit some of their free throws. As Content gets a screen, he goes coast to coast, count the basket and the foul the other way as Turner and Latham Jr. were both down there. Neither one of them agreed with the call. It was kind of an easy layup for Content, but nonetheless, an and-one opportunity coming.
It seems like we've given them way too many and-one opportunities. I mean, if you're going to foul them, you can't let them get the shot off. I think that's probably the last thing that we need to do is just make them earn the 2 points at the free throw line instead of letting them get 3 points.
And that one rattles out.
Luckily, he misses the free throw right there, but we could have came away with no points right there instead of 2.
78-72, 6-point lead. Tyler drives right side lane. No look pass to Turner, who was following, and he will count it. Adam wanted a foul, didn't get one, though. And luckily for the Lynx, they do get the basket. So 78-74, and now we're at 3 minutes left to play. Schauffele now with it, hands it off to Content. He's on the right wing, guarded very closely by Tyler. He kind of pushes him back. Tyler falls down low to Vaughn. It's loose on the floor. Latham Jr. comes up with it. Last touched out of bounds on, looks like the Lynx. So it's going to stay with, again, Olivet here underneath their own basket with 12 on the shot clock.
Trayvon Tyler definitely wanted a foul, an offensive foul there on Schauffele. It did seem like he extended the elbow. Is there going to be a timeout for ONU, a full timeout, but I saw it too. I saw the extension of the arm. I thought it should have been a foul going the other way.
And normally we see Tyler kind of sell those a time or two, but this time I think he actually had a case here in this one as, again, full timeout taken on the floor by Olivet Nazarene. So Olivet, we know coming out of this timeout, they're going to have the ball on the baseline underneath their own basket with 12 seconds on the shot clock. We know they're going to try to run a lob.
Yes.
And you know it's coming. We've seen it 2 out of 3 times. The third time it didn't work, but they still managed to get points. So if you're the Lynx, how do you not only defend the lob, but also try to defend something underneath the basket as well?
You just got to clog the lane. Throw 2 or 3 guys in there at once. Maybe switch into a 2-3 zone just for the inbounds. And then as soon as they get the ball inbounds, then you can go back into man. So it's just you need to throw different looks at them because, if stuff is working for them, they're not going to ditch it if it's working. So, you got to throw something different at them just to try to switch up their game plan.
You know for a fact they're going to try anyway here in this one. But again, now offensively for the Lynx. kind of having some trouble here. I mean, they're doing the same thing. They're driving into the lane. Tyler's finding some good passes. I like that he's looking for his teammates before he's trying to shoot. He knows that he's having an off day. But for the Lynx offensively, what do we got to do to get some points?
I mean, just get some touches inside. J.J. Turner is one of those guys who's a very underrated post scorer. I mean, let him get a touchdown low just to see if he can get a bucket, because more than likely he can get someone in the air and maybe draw a foul. So, I mean, and then you put him at the line at that situation, and no points is better. I mean, 1 point is better than no points. So just try different things. I mean, just try to get a bucket inside.
And they don't run the inbounds. Instead, they fake the handoff with Reed. They've tried to do that plenty of times. The Lynx got to be aware of that Reed is definitely going to be the guy to take those shots. They say it was on the floor, but Reed, he likes to go baseline.
Yeah, that's definitely his move. And we've seen him do the fake handoff plenty of times in this ball game, and where it seems like we're still falling for it. That's J.J. Turner's 4th foul. So that's another big man in foul trouble for Lincoln, and they're going to send probably arguably the best free throw shooter in the ball game right now, Nick Reed, back to the line where he's only missed 1.
Not only the best free throw shooter, but one of the best shooters in the country, period, to go to the line.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I think, what is he, about 5th in the nation in scoring. I'm curious to see what his free throw percentage is, just because that's probably up there as well as he knocks down that first one. But big praise for Nick Reed in this game, where we thought we'd have him on the ropes really at the beginning of the game, and he's really come back and had a monster scoring night.
He definitely showed us, that's for sure. That's why we're up here broadcasting and not playing, as he does hit a pair, and it's now back to a 6-point lead for Olivet. 80-74, 2:40 left to play here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. What do the Lynx have in store for us? Tyler picks up his dribble, finds Latham Jr. down low, gives it to Turner. Turner back out to Tyler. To the corner for Freeman. Freeman catch and shoot. He buries home a long-range 3 from the corner. It's now back to a 3-point lead for Olivet, as there's going to be another timeout taken with 2.5 minutes left to play. It's going to be a full timeout. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Lincoln College basketball coming your way next. 80-77 3-point game, as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena, as, again, we got a good one here in store. 3-point lead for the road team in Olivet Nazarene. But Lincoln College, your Lynx, not too far behind here in this one. They've trailed by as many as 12 here in the second half, but now have it down to just 3. So, Adam, what can we look forward to in the next 2.5 minutes, good or bad? It's going to get crazy.
One thing I really like, and it kind of goes into what I'm going to say we need to keep doing, is just keeping our composure. We're not just trying to rush a shot up or anything. You know, we're having good time management. We're getting good shots up, and we're just slowly just creeping our way back into the ball game. We had it tied at one time, but then lost it back down to 9, and now we have it to within 3. So we need to keep our good defensive composure and just good time management.
And Olivet with the basketball. Content now over to Vaughn. Vaughn trying to find Schauffele, but over his head and into the Olivet bench. And that's kind of the break the Lynx really needed right there on defense. They've kind of been getting some fouls kind of going against them here. Good stop from the Lynx there.
Yeah, definitely a good stop right there. And we do not need a 3 right now.
Tyler goes coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. Almost too easy for him.
He did exactly what I thought they should do in that situation. Just go to the basket, try to get a bucket in. The foul, we got the bucket with no foul, but still just going it down back to a 1-point game for Olivet.
And as we were talking, how Tyler could not find it in the first half. He's starting to come alive in these clutch moments. That's what we love about number 2 and Trayvon Tyler. As Tuttle now with it, guarded closely by Freeman on the right side wing. Reed now with it by Turner. Turner backs up just a little bit, but can't give him too much room as he tries to take a contested jumper with 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Tyrone Wright will pull down the rebound. And here come the Lynx. They trail by 1. 80-79, minute 30 left to go. And here, Latham Jr. going to run the point now, finds Freeman. He's standing near half court, near the logo. Finds Turner. Turner, guarded closely by Nick Reed. Turner trying to find somebody. He does. He finds Freeman, gets a screen. Now to Tyler. Tyler trying to drive in, almost lost the handle on it. There's now 6 seconds on the shot clock. Tyler working on content. He takes a step back three. Yes! Trayvon Tyler from way downtown. Buries home a three, and now once again your Lynx retake the lead by 2.
I really want to know what Lep was thinking when that shot went up. It's kind of one of those shots where like, no, why did you shoot that? And then, okay, good shot, kid. That's pretty clutch right there. You could see him as soon as Trayvon Tyler walked back to the bench for that timeout. He kind of gave him a little smile, just kind of gave him a little high five like, hey, nice shot, man.
You know, I think out of the year and a half that we've been working together, that was the best Coach Lep impression I've ever seen you do in my life. Because it's exactly right. He really is going, Tyler, why are you shooting that? And then it's like, oh, you made it? Okay. Yep, thank you. Yeah, good shot. You know what I mean?
There's nothing you could do in that situation. You can't say it's a bad shot. I mean, it went in, so it's helped, and it gave you the lead. So you can't say it's a bad shot.
It did definitely give us the lead right there from Trayvon Tyler, who has not had a great game by all means here in this one, but we've talked about it so much coming down the stretch. He's clutch when we need him most. You know, we saw him miss a couple free throws earlier, but I'm sure down the stretch he's like, give me the basketball, and I'm sure he would go up there and make a pair, no problem down here. So what are we seeing from Trayvon Tyler? It's almost like he almost turns a switch.
Yeah, it's just the confidence just skyrockets through the roof, so it just gives him the green light pretty much from anywhere. We saw him get that layup, just get the ball in the basket, and then getting that three right there. That really should only just set him off over the edge even more. So hopefully we can just keep giving him the ball, just let him close this game out for us.
58 seconds left to play. I should say 58.1 because that could come in handy down the stretch here. It's been a close one all game here in the second half. Everybody's kind of standing in this one. 82-80. Under a minute to play as Turner tips that one out of bounds and kind of provides a spark on defense after this full court press by the Lynx.
It's really just a different look. You probably hear me say just give them a different look about 20 times each game, but it's something you really need to do is just give the offense just a different look on the defensive end. Just don't let them have a set play. You want them to run broken possessions. They barely get the ball inbounds before that 5-second call. But we're going back into that man-to-man defense. Freeman wants the crowd into it because that's really just what we want to see right here.
And it's coming from a freshman as well. He's stepping up his game. The rest of the team trying to step up his. Turner, you know they're trying to feed Nick Reed down low. They can't even get the ball to him right now. Shot play over to Smith, and it's going to be blocked by Trayvon Tyler from 3. It's batted out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tigers here in this one, but 9 seconds to go on the shot clock, and Trayvon Tyler in his element now. Call him Mr. Clutch, as here comes the rest of the team. Timeout on the floor taken by Olivet.
This is really the most animated you've probably ever seen me during a basketball game. I usually never make those kind of like wow moments on the headset, but it's one of those moments. I mean, if he doesn't block that, easily could be Olivet's lead right now. Easily. I mean, he's shot plays hit so many threes. It seems like they're just daggers each time they've been going in. But that time, Trayvon Tyler, he finally leaves his mark on the defensive end that we've been looking for. That's 2 huge blocks for him in this ball game. So it's something we really like to see from number 2.
Now talk to me here a little bit. 36 seconds left to play. Lynx up by 2. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Let's walk this through. They make it. Let's say they make a 2. They tie it. Probably, give or take, going to have the last shot here. Do you hold it, obviously. What happens if they miss, though?
Well, if you miss, you just need to hold it and give it to your best free throw shooter on the floor. So that's why either Latham, Freeman, Trayvon Tyler, I'd say he's probably better now than he was earlier in the ball game. He probably has some more confidence, but Olivet might think differently. They might want to foul Trayvon Tyler. So that's really what I'm looking for. Either way, if they foul, it's going to be a 2-shot opportunity because that'll be their 10th foul.
Now with 9 seconds to go, you know they're trying to look for Nick Reed here in this one. It looks like he's going to set to inbound it right here, so look for him coming back into the game. Look for him like a little backdoor cut or some sort. He is going to inbound. Turner is on him, facing him. See if they can't get it in. 9 seconds to play. They throw it into Schauffele. 7 seconds. Guarded very closely by Tyler. Out to Tuttle. Tuttle drives left side lane, puts up a floater, and gets it to go. So we're tied again at 82. Instead, he got it just under 30 seconds. So we're going to be tied here. No shot clock as we're at 20 seconds. The Lynx can hold for the final shot here in this one. Tyler standing at half court. Under 13 to play. No timeout taken yet. Lep's got 1. Now down to 10. Tyler's with it. 82 all. No. Tyler driving in coast to coast. No look to right. And right will lay it up. They're going to call an offensive foul going on Trayvon Tyler as C.J. Smith stepped in there and took the charge. Nothing bigger for Olivet than that charge right there. Kept him in the ball game.
Really just kind of a buzzkill right there. I mean, that's the last thing we want to see happen. Luckily, since it's an offensive foul, they will not go to the free throw line. But, I mean, if it would have been a block, we would have been going to the free throw line. So, hopefully, I mean, there's only 3 seconds left, so you can't get a really good shot off if you're ONU, but you hope to get your best player involved, and that is Nick Reed.
3 seconds left to play. It's gonna be close to go. That is plenty of time to go down the length of the floor, depending on where you set to inbound. They are going to inbound it underneath their own basket, so they are going to have to go the length of the court here in this one. But if you're Olivet Nazarene, what are you drawing up here in this one? I mean, you know it's going through the hands of Nick Reed, but I mean, what can you do here with 3 seconds left besides not foul?
I mean, you don't want to foul. That's the biggest no-no you could do right now. You cannot foul. You cannot put them on the free throw line. You just need to stick there with your hands up. Just try not to, like I said, try not to foul. Just get a hand in the face. Just try to contest a shot that they throw up.
It was kind of interesting. I didn't really want to say it on the air, but the officials were kind of talking it over before that play happened on the other end, before we inbounded it against for Olivet. Now all of a sudden they're huddling up again, and you saw the charge been called. So we'll see what they have here in the next 3 seconds, as we might have some free basketball for you right here on 89X, as we're tied at 82 with 3 seconds to play. I know we got a Duke fan up here. Maybe look for the little lob down low to Reed. He's standing in that area as Vaughn set the inbound. They'll throw it into Schauffele. Schauffele guarded closely. He's going to have to throw up a prayer. Nowhere close as Wright will catch it. We have free basketball here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena as we're tied at 82 going into overtime. So, again, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll have overtime coming your way. Don't turn that dial, as it's 82 all. You guys are listening to Lynx men's basketball right here on 89X.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say?
I hate
Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I spend a lot of time in my backyard. I feed the birds and the bees. I love my flowers. The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to volunteers because they've all become my friends.
It's Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. We got 5 more minutes left to play free basketball here as we're all tied at 82 apiece. And Turner, Freeman, Tyler, Wright, and Latham Jr. are on the floor here for the Lynx to start overtime as Tyrone Wright, man, jump out of the gym to get that one right there.
He about swatted it out of bounds. He hit that so hard. But it just, good start here to the overtime.
Where have those hops been all season long? I know we've only played 3 games, but still, turnaround jumper for Turner. Rattles in and out. Turner thought he had it. Instead, here comes Olivet with a chance to take the lead here with their first possession in overtime. Reed has it. Over to Content. Gets a screen. Goes right around it. Goes coast to coast. Puts up a floater, and they're going to call a charge going on him. So, again, it was C.J. Smith to draw the charge against the Lynx. Now, this time, I believe it was Tyler or Freeman to step in there and take one.
That's kind of the makeup call right there. That's kind of revenge there for ONU for getting that last offensive foul late in that game, or late in regulation. That's going to be the 5th foul on Content. So he's out of this ball game for good. That's a good step for us. I mean, he's one of their better shooters. He's definitely been hitting the daggers in the second half for ONU.
That's huge. Now that it's one less 3-point shooter they got on behind the arc. They did bring in Gavin Griggs, though, who's hit a couple from the top of the key.
Who's hit just as many. So.
Yeah. So one lights out shooter for another, as Latham now has it, drives left side lane, puts one up off the glass with the finger roll, and he'll get it to go. So once again, we're now tied at 84.
He's such a versatile scorer.
I'm sorry, 84-82. Lynx lead by 2. Sorry.
He's such a versatile scorer. I don't really know why they don't do a little isolation with him. They do it with Trayvon Tyler all the time, but that's just another guy we have on the floor that's very capable.
As Reed down low misses, gets his own miss, put back no. He wanted a foul, didn't get one, and the Lynx come down with the rebound. They also have the lead. I was trying to make it more exciting by making it tied. Instead, I'd rather have to see the Lynx lead by 2. As they do, 84-82, 3.5 minutes left to play here in overtime.
Now it's time to waste some clock.
It sure is. And we all know Tyler and Coach Lepper, they know how to do it well as they feed right down low. But Vaughn kind of reached his hand in there, and that's going to send Wright now to the line.
And we kind of see Justin Parker kind of coaching from the bench. I saw him in that last play, just kind of standing up, directing traffic for the offense. He's telling guys to go over there, and then he waved Darnell Latham over to the bench, and he had a word with him. So good to see Justin Parker get into this game, even though he is not playing. Just happy to see him come back in January, though, as Tyrone Wright misses another free throw for the Lynx.
And it's really kind of been the story here. This may not even be in overtime. Had the Lynx been able to hit some free throws down the stretch.
It would not be in overtime. We would have won by about 10 points, I believe.
And Wright can't hit a pair, but Turner comes with an offensive rebound. And Tyler back out, and they're going to set up the offense here with a fresh 30, and that's going to waste some more time against Olivet Nazarene. Freeman now with it. Bounce passes one to Wright. Wright working on Reed. He thought about a lob, instead finds Tyler. Tyler, step back, now drives in left side lane, up and under move, and he'll finish. Trayvon Tyler wears number 2 for a reason. He got 2 right there. None bigger as the Lynx lead by 4.
It really just seems like we're on a different pace here in overtime. Seems like we're playing with a different kind of swagger. And we're really, that confidence is going through the roof for the Lynx.
Chauflet trying to drive baseline. Stops in midair and puts up a shot and gets it to go as Turner was right there for the slot just in case he took one more step forward. He does make the shot, however, so it's still a 2-point lead here for the Lynx. 86-84. We're at 2.5 minutes left to play. Freeman running the point 2-3 zone look here for Olivet. Freeman has Latham right at the free throw line. Now gets it. Finds Latham Jr. in the corner as he takes a long 3. No in and out. Long rebound into the hands of Reed. Ball's loose on the floor, and it's into the hands of Chauflet. Chauflet, now Nick Reed is down for the count as he's laying on the floor. I don't know where exactly he got hit, but it doesn't look like he is going to get up anytime soon. Very slowly.
He got hit in the face, really. He's diving for that loose ball. I think he got a handful in the face there from Tyrone Wright. I'm sure it was definitely by accident, nothing intentional on that call, but it's a tough sight to see if you're an ONU fan. As there goes your best scorer right there. He's going to sit down.
I think he actually hit his head coming back down on the floor. He's kind of holding it a little bit. He's a little shaky getting up. It looks like he's holding the side of his head right there. Almost kind of a scary thought or scary situation here for Nick Reed and ONU. Not only is that their best player, but normally when you see guys get hit in the head like that and they kind of get up a little wobbly, it almost looks like a concussion protocol has been being taken into action right now.
Yeah, definitely. But if you're Ralph Hodge, I mean, if he feels all right, I mean, how do you keep him on the bench? Really?
Right.
I mean, he's your best shooter. You gotta keep him in the game as best as you can. So maybe just see him just here and there, but definitely going to take it carefully here with the head injury.
They are going through the concussion protocol right now as Schauffele drives into the lane, and he's going to draw a foul. I believe that's going to go on Trayvon Tyler, and he's going to have to be careful. Actually, that's his fifth as well. So one best player comes out for another, and again, Nick Reed already coming back into the ball game here in this one. He's going to get Vaughn, but Trayvon Tyler's night is done. Here comes L.J. Johnson into the ball game. Interesting pick here for Coach Lepp.
I really thought they were going to pick Montez Crumble to come in for this situation, but L.J. Johnson, he's a bigger guard, and he can really create his own shot, so he's definitely an asset to have on the offensive end.
And Trayvon Tyler, his energy and his fire, he's not happy. He's walking around over there by the bench. He knows that he wants to be in this ball game. That's just his passion coming out in him, and he knows he can't do anything about it from here on out. As Schauffele's first free throw was good. It's the 1-point lead as the second one off the front of the rim and drops in for him. So we're all tied at 86. Again, Nick Reed back into the ball game here for Olivet. We are at 1:45 left to play. L.J. Johnson now with it on the right wing. Looking for Turner down low, doesn't get it, finds Latham at the top of the key. Some more 2-3 zone action as Latham now finds Johnson over to Turner in the right side corner. Turner trying to drive into the lane, kicks it back out to Wright. Wright takes a step back three from the corner, no, in and out. Ball's tipped in the air. Johnson comes down with it, and he's going to call a timeout. And normally that doesn't go against the Lynx, but this time he does get possession, and the Lynx will hang on here with a fresh 30 because it did hit the rim, and we are tied at 86 with 1:25 left to go. So, Adam, talk to me here in this one. The Lynx saved the possession right there in this one, but if you're Coach Lepp, what are you drawing up? What are you telling your guys?
Well, I think definitely you don't need a three right here. That's probably the last thing you need. You just want to try to get a bucket no matter what. I mean, if it's wide open, then I could say, yeah, take the three, but it has to be a good three-point shooter. I mean, that step-back three there from Tyrone Wright, definitely not the shot if you're the Lynx. I mean, he's very capable of hitting the shot, but in such a tight game like this, it's a tie game with a minute left. That's definitely not the shot that you want to take. You want to try to get a bucket inside. I mean, Julian Powell, he still has 4 fouls. I'm not really sure why he's not playing. I mean, there's only a 1:30 left in the game. He's a defensive presence, and he's a pretty good offensive player. I mean, risk it. I mean, if he picks up the 5th foul, then he's just going to be out of the game. So it's all right to pick up a 5th foul. I mean, if it's in overtime.
We'll see what Coach Lepp how he wants to play it right here. Right with it at the top of the key, swinging around. Johnson to Freeman. Freeman over to Latham Jr. in the corner for 3. Yes! As the Lynx retake the lead by 3. 89-86 off of the 3 ball from Darnell Latham Jr.
That's definitely just a huge shot right there. We got the wide open look in the corner, and Latham makes him pay.
Shot play now over to Smith to Griggs. Griggs down low to Reed, and Reed, that's too easy. Turner knew just to give it to him. As the Lynx still lead by 1, though, 89-88. Here as we're under a minute to play now in overtime. 89-88. Latham is going to hold. We'll see if the Lynx want to go a 2-for-1 opportunity right here. They have time. 40 seconds left to play. Now 35. Latham still holding it with 12 seconds on the shot clock. He'll get a screen. Goes to the right of it as he'll take a step back 3. Once again, no. Long rebound into the hands of L.J. Johnson, and the shot clock is turned off. 89-88. They're not fouling here for Olivet. They're going to let this one play out. Johnson trying to drive in, and now there comes the foul with 17 seconds left to go here in this one. As L.J. Johnson now going to the line for 2 as Smith, nothing he could do but foul.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't foul him sooner. It seemed like he had the ball in the corner there, and just no one came over to guard him, really. So that's something they really need to check on. If you're ONU, you got to foul him right away. You got to give yourself the most time you can, or else we're just going to let the clock run out.
And L.J. Johnson, once again, this time has an opportunity to sink free throws to win us the ball game. But once again, the woes continue from the free throw line as L.J. Johnson could not hit the first. We at least need one right here. No bigger free throw than this right here. Johnson at the line. First one was out of the back of the rim and out. See if he can't hit the second one off the back of the front of the rim this time, and no good. 15 seconds to play, 89-88. Olivet could easily kind of come down, and they're going to call a timeout right here, so they're going to have a chance to win it with 11 seconds. Do or die. You know it's going through the hands of Nick Reed here in this one. Adam, please talk to me here a little bit. This one's been not only good, but great, not only for the fans, but for us as well. Julian Powell just checked back into the ball game. You know who he's guarding. He's guarding Nick Reed. The ball goes through the hands of Nick Reed here in this one. And if you're Olivet, what do you do? And if you're Coach Lepp for the Lynx, what do you do here?
I think for Coach Lepp, definitely go into a zone right here. It'll eliminate Nick Reed from posting up, just because if he posts up one guy, I mean, there's always going to be a help defender on that situation. The downfall of that is if they double inside, there's going to be a wide-open three-point shooter. And if they move the ball enough, there's going to be a wide-open three-point shooter in a 2-3 zone. So just throw a zone at them, just confuse them a little bit. If worse comes to worse, they're confused, they'll call another timeout. So that's really all you can do. I think that's the smartest thing to do if you're Coach Lepp, is just draw up a zone right here. Don't let them get a wide-open layup under the basket.
And you can see Trayvon Tyler, who fouled out of this ball game just minutes into the overtime play. We have 11 seconds to go. He's telling everyone, be smart here in this one. Now, with the William Penn game, you knew that you could possibly foul Sherman and you would possibly miss both of them. Here, you can't foul anybody because anybody can make one.
Yeah, they're probably going to make two no matter what. So it's really something. It looks like we're kind of going into a man-to-man defense right here. You're going to have Powell guarding the ball.
They throw it into Reed. Reed hands it off to Schauffele, gets a screen, goes coast to coast. He's going to be blocked at the rim as Reed puts it back up and in. And once again, Olivet retakes the lead by one off of the hands of Nick Reed, who we knew that he was going to go to him, as he actually got an offensive rebound and put back. I believe Powell got a block underneath, but again, not something that the Lynx can afford here, as they now trail back by one, 90-89 with 3.9 seconds to go. Still plenty of time for somebody like Freeman or Latham or possibly maybe even Johnson as well to get down the court, but you're going to have to throw up a prayer, possibly a three. What can we expect out of the Lynx here in this?
I'm getting some deja vu right here.
Right?
Flashbacks to that William Penn game. That's pretty much kind of a similar possession, that Sherman dunk, and then there with the Reed putback to put him up by one. And that's better than 3 points, but like we were in the William Penn game. But right now, we just need to get a basket. There's 3 seconds left. We have to go the length of the floor. So I'm not quite sure what's going to go on right here. I don't know if they're going to try to go a full court heave to someone to catch it and then turn around and shoot it, or if it's going to be just a quick outlet and just try to dribble it to maybe half court to the spike line and just throw up a prayer.
Okay, now let me ask you this. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but who are you going to, since Trayvon Tyler is out of this ball game? Your clutch boy is not in the ball game here. Tyler, no more. Who are you looking for? Is it Latham? Is it Freeman? I believe Crumble's coming into the ball game. Johnson, Turner, I mean, who could it be?
I think it's Latham. I think he's hit the big shot here in overtime to give us a bigger lead. So I think that's definitely who you go to. A second option, I think, is L.J. Johnson. I think he's very capable of hitting a big shot. So I think Freeman is going to get the ball. They're going to kind of set a screen right here. He's going to get the ball. No, they're going to give it into Latham.
Latham's going to have to go the length of the floor. And now we have a timeout. The clock did not start. So it should be interesting to see where they place the ball back. If they're going to place it back down at the other end of the floor, it looks like they're going to. Because when he blew the whistle, I mean, Latham Jr. was almost near half court.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right call right there. Just to redo with possession, basically, or else you're probably going to give him 3 seconds and then maybe get it on the sideline. So I think a better look right here is to get him off the inbounds.
So here we go yet again. Crumble set to throw it in, finds Latham. We're under 3-2. He's going to have to throw up a shot. He does, and no, off the rim and out. So ONU survives here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena, 90-89, as your Lynx fall once again in a heartbreaker here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena, this time in overtime, 90-89. Adam, it was a great game. I mean, it was close all throughout. But again, you got to give ONU the credit. They were down. They battled back. They got it to overtime. what happened there at the end that the Lynx just couldn't prevail?
I think our confidence kind of wore down. I think ever since Trayvon Tyler was out of the ball game, it seemed like our whole team was kind of out of it. So something we need to improve on next game. This is really our second game of a short 4-game schedule where we've kind of lost it there at the end. I think the William Penn game was a very winnable game for us, and we kind of gave it away late for them. But this one, I think, definitely was a winnable game. We were up 4 in overtime and just couldn't make the half quarter there at the end.
And it's an unfortunate result there for the Lynx in this one. They now fall to 2-2 on this young season. Could easily be 4-0.
Very easily.
If 2 of them could have gone their way. Unfortunately, it did not. They played 2 great teams, could not come out on top. However, though, the next broadcast is going to be right here on the radio as well. It'll be Saturday. That's going to be a home game. It's a doubleheader. Men's and women's game time starts at 1 and 3 as both teams fall here tonight. Again, Lady Lynx fall. Again, another close one, 57-54. And your men's team lose in overtime, 90-89. So we had 2 great games but could not come out on top. Thank you to our executive board op back at the station, Miranda Verge. Again, alongside me is Adam Hoffman. I'm Nick Jackson, and we will see you guys Saturday night right here in the Jack D. Nutt Arena. Thank you so much for listening to Lincoln College men's basketball right here on 89X.
That's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College basketball on 89X.